Welcome to Project Metaverse. I'm James Durham, and I'll be your host and GM for tonight's show. Joining me in the studio today, I have Helen Roundhill, Luke Admonson, Jess Weaver, and Christian Doyle. Where did that Christian Doyle go? I'm sure he'll be around here somewhere. What is Project Metaverse? Project Metaverse is the story of unlikely heroes, forced into dire circumstances and doing what is necessary to save the metaverse with the guidance and assistance of the mysterious entity known as Tom. Project Metaverse, like all of our Zoe programming, is completely funded and supported by fans and viewers like you. Visit our Patreon page now and find out how you can support this show and other good content like it. Like DFA that's coming back next month. Or Masters of the Metaverse coming back in February. Or maybe some Strowlers, or some Journey Quest, or some other neat little shows that Ben was hinting at that I'm not going to talk about right now. Speaking of Patreon, we do have our poll results in. Would you guys like to know how our poll results turned out?
More than ever!
All right. Helen, you received 20 hit points and plus 5 to a roll today.
All right.
Jess, 20 hit points and plus 6 to a roll today.
Okay. Thank you.
Luke, 20 hit points and plus 7 to a roll today.
Oh, well,
thank you.
Well.
And I get plus 40 hit points and plus 7 to a roll today.
Of course you do.
I promise I did not hack the poll system. I didn't hack the poll system.
Yeah,
okay?
whatever.
I really didn't.
Whatever.
I don't know what's going on.
Just enjoy.
I think that somebody must have just switched the data or something around, because that's the only thing that explains that. I would also like to take a moment and thank some of our Patreon subscribers by name. Carmen Frank, thank you.
Thanks, Carmen.
Thank you, Carmen.
Jay Halamek, thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
Jay.
And Hamish's Dreck and Plunder, thank you.
Thanks, Hank.
Dreck and Plunder.
Right.
Delightful.
Thank you.
Oh,
Rather
it's gonna
impressive.
be a special one.
I want to take a minute and talk about the store. The store is special tonight. I don't know if any of you have noticed already, but none of our pilots' buffs are available, and we will get to that. Oh, yeah. Not one.
I'm sure everything's fine.
But we do still have meta points, and they could really use those, I promise. Loot boxes are still in play, as is the triple play, the rule of cool, and the hack attack, which is everyone's favorite, we all know. We're using the tri-stat system, so rolling low is extremely important. We have things like bonuses. Remember to use those the right way. Positive and negative numbers and such. I don't do the maths, I'll let you do that part. And now for one of the fun parts that we've missed, points. That's right. Unfortunately, Tom can't give you your scores right now, so I'm going to have to do that for you today.
Okay.
Chat currently has 65,972 points. Way to go, chat.
Yay.
The not present Brony Robbins has 40,705 points. That is an awfully lonely chair.
He's all alone.
I'll put my
Wyatt
feet in
Maxwell has 39,975 points.
it.
Andy James has 44,250.
Yeah.
Maddox
What
McFernan,
was that?
43,225.
Damn.
And Tom has 75,000 points. It seems in last week's Masters of the Metaverse finale, Tom got himself an achievement unlock.
Crossover episode.
A crossover episode. That dirty dog.
Tom, you doity dog.
Previously on Project Metaverse, our group of heroes was recruited to take part in a new virtual reality gaming beta test. Things turned out to be much more than they seemed after they were joined by the entity Tom. Learning that the metaverses were in fact real places, our pilots changed the course of history in Sentinel City and helped bring about the ubiquitous dome. During these events, Andy James left her metapod and escaped the facility. Later, after a period of lockdown and cloak and dagger activities, Maddox, Brony, and Wyatt entered a secret, hidden sub-basement level of the Project Metaverse complex, while some form of battle raged outside in the facility. Using old metapods located in this secret basement, they entered the world of the Weird West and joined Andy James on a mission with Tom. Save the Metaverse. Following a wild adventure through free Texas, our heroes confronted a host of werewolves and General Custer within the basement of the Alamo, a place of great power and mystery. That moment, our pilots were cast through the Metaverse to places unknown. And now, Project Metaverse. You'd hidden in the trees near Old Man Grant's orchard, chased by those Huntington boys again. This time you'd had enough. Lying in wait behind one of the trees, you prepared to ambush your tormentors. Then just darkness and falling. Pulling yourself to your feet, you find yourself in an immense parking lot. Seemingly without end, vast and empty. No cars in sight. The only things in this parking lot are two other people and an infinite blocked fence with a gate on one side. The people, a strangely dressed girl. She's fairly close to you. She's short, spiky looking hair, a leather jacket, a beanie on. Just it does not look like the things I can describe to you, Luke, that you understand, but Bobby does not so much. A very strangely dressed woman. And across from you, almost 200 or 300 yards from you, way out in the parking lot, is another little girl. She's dressed like really old-timey, like really, really old-timey. Like Grandma looked in her photos and when she was a kid. One side of the parking lot is blocked by an immense white fence, lined with perfectly trimmed, round-topped trees. And they are perfect. Beyond the fence, you can see the rising forms of roller coasters, Ferris wheels, and other amusements. You can hear laughing kids, carnival goers, and the smell of all the lovely carnival food. Seemingly beckoning to you, there's a lone entrance, its gates wide open. Large ticket booth in the middle, unoccupied. Though you can't quite read it from here, there's a sign hanging from the booth. You find yourself on a hard paved surface. Your picnic basket's still in your hand. You're not sure where you are. You've never seen anything like this. It's a clear and well-lit sky, but no sun, no clouds, nothing but just bright blue. Which is quite different from the dreary morning you set to have your fairy tea party in. There's a boy dressed strangely, and you're not sure if it's a boy or a girl next to him about 200 yards from you, in that same scene of the fence and the gate I described. You don't know how you got here or even where the hell here is. The last thing you remember is getting on a bus headed to Queens after slipping out of the second-story window at the group home. Are you dreaming? There's a strange-dressed boy. Looks like one of the Cleaver kids from that stupid TV show. And the girl, you've never seen anyone dressed like that. She looks like she's ready to go to like a Dickens fair or something.
You know those wacky Dickens fairs.
Oh, don't
All
knock
hail,
it.
Mark. All hail,
My
Mark.
grandparents
All
live in a
hail,
village
Mark.
that does
All
that.
hail, hashtag hack attack.
The Dickensian.
Oh my!
Chad.
Thank you, Chet.
Thank you.
Thank you, chat.
I think.
Yeah, you never know with those. It's in your hands.
Do either of you know where we are?
I haven't the strangest idea, strange child, but I'm feeling as though perhaps you should explain it to me.
I would be happy to if I knew.
Why don't you know?
Same as you. I woke up and here we were.
That seems very irresponsible to fall asleep and not know where you're going.
But So, you know where you are then?
Well, I assume that it has something to do with you. So explain, please.
As far as I know, it doesn't.
I think you're lying to me. You, strange girl. Explain. If you please.
Explain what?
Why are we here?
Why do you talk like that?
Why do you talk so poorly?
Talk poorly?
Yes,
Why do you talk like you're in the television or something?
like I'm in the what is a television?
What? What is it? What?
I think perhaps you are making fun of me, and I do not care for it. Thank you. If you would please cease and desist, and instead perhaps tell me who you are.
You can call me Lizzie.
Hello, Lizzie.
What's in the box? #LOOT times 2.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat.
Chat. Thank
So you gonna tell me your name, or you just gonna bark orders at everyone?
Oh, but of course. My name is Angela. You may call me Angel. If you call me Angela, I shall be displeased.
Okay, Angela.
And
It's
I'm,
almost as if you don't want to be friends.
Weird.
I'm Bobby, and I didn't have anything to do with this, as far as I know.
Well, don't look at me. I didn't do anything.
Well, then perhaps we should wander around and figure out where we are. Perhaps there will be clues to explain.
Well, it looks like we're in a park.
Aside from the fence and the open gateway, it's just this massive empty parking lot. Not a single car in it, and you cannot see an end to it, any direction you look. The only thing to break up the monotony of parking lot is the white fence at the gate. It seems to stretch just as infinitely as the parking lot.
I elect that we go through the gate.
Can either of you read the sign?
It's a little too far away.
Well, let's check it out. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
The sign reads, written in bright red on a plain wooden board, "Admittance free today."
Well,
Inside the open gateway, you can see a courtyard. There's several branching paths. Each of them is lined with white fence, perfectly manicured shrubs, flowers, and trees. And each path bears a simple white sign. Written over each one reads, "Roller coasters and Ferris wheel." Another one reads, "Food court." Another one reads, "Games and prizes."
Thomas,
Another one...
you must save them from carnival music of droll 1800s romance novels. #Hack attack.
Oh my. One reads food court, one reads games and prizes, one reads fun house, and the last one reads mystery and wonder. The smell of the food court is strong, and you can feel your stomachs grumbling.
Yeah, so I don't really care what they're doing. I'm just gonna start walking to the food court.
And you can hear things as you're like hear kids, and you don't see anyone, but it's just like just over the shrubs and fences. There's people like playing just on the other side. And it's probably about 150 yards or so walking down until you enter the food court. Are you two following or remaining in the main courtyard?
I'm following to the food court.
Angel?
it smells like grease.
It does.
I do not eat grease. Unless it is coming off of duck. In which case, I suppose it is abhorrent. Do you
short
suppose that
distance
they will be
behind.
serving duck?
Who are you asking?
Great question. The air, generally. I find that people answer me if I just announce things.
Everyone ever tell you talk too much?
You follow a winding path lined with tall white fencing, flanked by the flower bushes. Every 100 feet or so, there's an ornate trellis. It's like an archway connecting the fences. It's ornamented by many-hued roses. You finally reach the food court, and it's a half circle ringed by stands and booths displaying all kinds of unattended food. Elephant ears, ice cream, hot dogs, kettle corn, every type of carnival food. Just hanging or sitting or in the little rotators going or in the popper. And not a single staff member, not a single person, just empty. There's dozens of picnic tables in the middle, also empty. Save for one table, where there's a blue flower pot on it. and a beautiful pink and white tropical looking flower growing from it. There's an envelope tucked into the flower pot.
Well, I'm gonna start making the rounds. I'm gonna pick up a corn dog. I'm gonna pick up an elephant ear. I want a churro. I want some deep fried ice cream. I think I see a Chinese truck. I'm gonna kind of just like pick my shirt up and start like going like this and then head it to one of the, I don't really care what you guys are doing. I'm starving.
All of this sounds horribly barbaric. What, pray tell, is a corn dog?
It's delicious. You'll love it.
I hope it does not contain dog, I hope.
It's just
And please explain elephant ears to me. I am fond of animals, and it makes me unsettled that perhaps you might be willing to eat such creatures.
So no dogs were hurt for the corn dogs, and they're just called elephant ears because they're kind of in the shape of an elephant ear.
I don't know if I believe that. The China restaurant down on my block on the thing, I swear to God, there's dogs that roam around the back and then you don't see them the next hour. So I don't know about that guy, but either way, it's good.
Well, we don't have those restaurants in my neighborhood, so... Not trying to be snotty, I'm just saying.
What? I'm just saying it might be dog.
There is absolutely no need to go on fighting amongst ourselves. Follow me.
I don't follow her. I sit and eat all my food.
Beautiful.
And this is so good. I'm like licking the powdered sugar off my fingertips, and it's so good.
Lizzie is gorging herself. What are the two of you up to in this period of time?
You boy, do you read?
Yeah, I read fine.
I think we should see what is in that envelope.
Okay.
You open up the envelope.
My friends, I'm not sure if you'll even be capable of understanding what is going on when you read this. Something unforeseen has happened. I'm having a great deal of difficulty locating and reaching you. Something is distorted. It is as though you are both simultaneously within a metaverse and not. I will find a solution, I assure you. Until then, be exceedingly careful. I cannot predict what dangers may await you in your present location. Rely on each other. I am confident that together you can overcome whatever challenges await. Sincerely, Tom. XOXO.
How fun it is to read other people's mail.
Who's Tom?
Well, I don't know. It's whoever wrote the letter.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah, it's a trap. You see letters like that all the time. Oh, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna save you. Don't fall for it. I'm just saying. Just eat the elephant ears, get your fill, and then I don't know.
What if the food is poisoned?
What if
Maybe that's the trap.
I gotta
Also,
iron
nobody who writes XOXO on the end of a letter ever means anyone any harm. That is one of the universal rules of the universe. Thank you.
But wouldn't somebody who knew that that was one of the universal rules of the universe maybe put it on there so that you believed it?
There is no one so devious.
Nah,
That's good.
you're a sucker. You're gonna fall into a trap so fast. I'm gonna sit here and eat my elephant ears made of real elephants.
I don't think people understand what would happen if they tried to trap me.
She's at least partially lying to you. As you can see, the elephant ear she's eating clearly does not have any meat in it whatsoever.
Because she is rude.
She's lying to you.
She is lying to me.
Because I'm rude, I'm lying. Hey, you have no idea who I am.
You are Lizzie.
As far as you know. I thought I was rude and I lied.
So perhaps you were lying to me about your name?
Maybe I was, and maybe I wasn't.
Girls and boys, come out to play. The moon doth shine as bright as day. Leave your supper and leave your sleep, and come with your playfellows into the street. Hashtag MetaPoint.
10. Thank you, chat.
Thank
10
you,
meta
chat.
points thrown in.
Wow.
That could change things.
I don't know what a meta point is, but cool.
I take it then I'm not the only person hearing voices from the sky? That is reassuring to me.
Yeah, I heard it too.
Where'd that letter go?
Still have it.
Who has it? You have it?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to have it, please. Just let me hold on to it. I got a bag. I'm a master at holding on to things and collecting them.
I think you'll make it dirty. You're
And
going to get
rude.
grease all over it.
There you go.
And whatever that sugary stuff is.
Oh, good. I'll blow my nose later.
It's just sugar.
Surely you have a hanky for that.
Hanky.
Why, yes.
What's a hanky?
Unbelievable.
I'm bored. You guys want to go play some games? Doesn't look like anyone's here collecting money or anything. I mean, if we're stuck here or whatever, might as well have some fun.
Yeah.
Wanna go play some games?
Let's try that first.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get on the rides too.
Oh, yeah!
Rides?
Yeah!
Like ponies?
Ponies?
Yes.
No, like roller coasters. Ferris wheels and like bumper cars.
What on God's good earth is a roller coaster?
Well, God doesn't have a good earth, A.
Blasphemy! Blasphemy and rude!
Whoa. Look, I don't mean to disagree with a lady, but God is good. Okay?
God is good.
Ugh. Roller coasters are those big tracks up there that have got the cars moving on them.
Oh no.
Yeah, you sit in them and you ride around.
Go upside. Sometimes you go upside down.
No.
Your skirt will go what?
No.
And your underpants will show. Let's do it. Anyone?
The roller coasters aren't as much fun as some of the others. Let's just go play some games.
Okay. Like what?
You head back to the courtyard. Back to the courtyard, there's all the signs again. One of them does read games and prizes. The pathway is much like the one of the food court, equally winding and long. And the sky is starting to dim just a little bit by the time you've reached the perimeter of this place. It's very long and rectangular in shape where it spills out into, and there are various carnival games around the outside, the ring toss, the little pellet guns attached, every single one you've seen, the skee ball, the balloons, you name it, it is there all the way around. And then there's several ones in the middle of the rectangle as well for people to play games. And each one has like the hanging stuffed animals in them or the little posters and prizes, and it's all there without a single person playing. All the lights and bells and whistles are going. There's no one.
I'm on the pellet gun game.
I must warn you both, I am exceedingly good at games. My nanny tells me that I excel.
Well, I'm gonna go behind the dart balloon game. I'm gonna pocket the darts.
All right, you have darts.
And then I'm gonna get one of those big bears.
You've got one of the big bears.
Yeah, I always wanted one of those.
It's half the size of you at least. It's huge.
Oh yeah.
It's a massive stuffed animal.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I'm gonna
You were
take
playing
this.
the pellet gun games. You said you're exceedingly good at games. Are you going to try and play games with one? Well, he's the only one actually playing a game. She seems to just be taking things.
I don't see chess.
No,
What?
you do
Excuse
not.
you? What do you want to play?
Chess. Or checkers, but that's more for children.
That's more for children.
Yes.
I'll play that gun game with you.
Guns are not for
Step on up.
ladies.
Guns are not for ladies.
Indeed.
It's one of those silly pellet rifles where they're shooting out the center of the target. It's horrifically inaccurate, but it's kind of fun. It keeps getting a little darker and darker as time goes on, and you're playing much faster than what you're used to. Anyone who has the notice skill, go ahead and make a check for that, would you? If you have it. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. I've got you taken care of.
I'd like to make a check, but
I got you taken care of.
I was gonna say I don't even have tools.
I know.
Oh shit. That's
Is that
not a
right?
good
You have-
sign, is it?
Just dice, please. And also 8s and 12s for Helen, please. Thank you. We had visitors during the week and things were moved.
Beat it by 4.
Beat it by 4. You have the feeling that you are being watched.
Well, obviously, I am watching.
You swear you saw the stuffed animal she's holding turn its head and look at you when she was looking away from you. You swear you saw it.
So, apart from there not being anyone else around, have either of you seen anything move?
See anything move?
I mean, just
Well,
like around
yes,
us.
there is the wind, I suppose, and also
Not the wind.
no. Rude.
Yeah, I've seen this chick like move her mouth like every second.
It's getting
Yes,
darker.
it's-
That's not what I'm talking about, though.
And as darkness sets in, all the little booths, the lights all just shut off on them. As though someone just flipped a circuit breaker. And little lamps along the fencing just kind of give it a little bit of a dim glow, like a place that's closed down.
I do not like the dark.
It's growing darker and the shadows are growing. You swear that rust is starting to creep up along the fence as the shadows grow. Vines and creepers following it, and then the flowers start to wilt and fall. Thorns grow. The stands start to decay and rot. The whole wood structure themselves crumbling away, cobwebs spinning. It's almost as if they're rapidly aging right before your eyes. Skittering little insects start creeping out
no.
of the little booths
No.
and corners.
No. No. No.
And then the stuffed animals start detaching themselves, dropping with fleshy popping noises as they hit the ground. And the one you're holding turns, its huge stuffed maw opening into ragged fang-like teeth. Let's roll initiative.
See? Like that. Exactly like that. Wind.
What are we using for that?
Well, you are going to be doing 2 8s and add your ACV to it, and if you have an initiative bonus, which would be listed on your character if you do, go ahead and add that to it.
Oh, Lordy.
The sword is 1, right?
17.
The sword
I
is
believe
1.
so.
Okay.
21.
21.
Dang.
Angel has a 21.
20.
20 for Bobby. And Lizzie?
18.
18 for Lizzie. All right. Angel, start us off.
I do not like bugs, and so I'm going to let out a blood-curdling scream.
Excellently done. Will you go ahead and make a fear check, please?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to do that.
Success or fail?
13 on 12.
13 on 12. 1 fail. Okay, marking down. Okay, what do you want to do for your turn?
I just told you.
You scream. But you can. Is that all you want to do? You are not forbidden from making other actions at this point.
Yes, but if I scream, people will come to my assistance.
Probably.
Yes.
Okay, you continue to blood-curdlingly scream. I love it. Bobby! She is screaming and it is so loud!
Well, I can't really do anything about that. I want to take my wooden rifle and I want to run up and I want to hit the stuffed animal that she's holding.
Alright, give me a fighting check, please.
It hit hard. It's so good.
Knock its teeth out.
I'm calling left field. Left
There you
field. Beat it by 5.
Beat it by 5. Bobby runs straight towards you, swinging that carved wooden rifle like a baseball bat, and hits the head of that bear. And because it's a stuffed animal, but it's also not a stuffed animal, part of its head rips clean in rotted flesh and worms and maggots. And the other half is still
Not
just...
more bugs.
Yes. The other half is just, the cloth of a stuffed animal with stuffing in it. It's like some weird combination of the two. And as it hits the ground out of your arms, the fleshy parts are still flopping and moving around, dragging the stuffed animal bits with it and spreading stuffing and worms and garbage across the ground.
Ew.
What are you going to do, Lizzie?
So we have that thing just rolling around.
Mess,
and
and all of the other stuffed
just-
animals are disconnecting themselves from their little wall mounts or from their hanging shelves and
Yeah.
plopping onto the ground. It's like that mixture of the stuffed animal falling and like a squishy, rotting piece of meat hitting the ground at the same time.
Yeah, and there's just bugs, but that's
Lots
it,
of
just
bugs and crawling stuffed animals.
Okay, well that's weird, but
And they have big giant teeth.
yeah, so do a lot of things. Okay, well, how
Polar opposites.
I guess we could do a lot of things. First, I'll finish off this last bite of elephant ear I just have in my hand, so I can get my hands.
Surely
ready
there are
real
bugs
quick.
on it now.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's
That
extra
is not
protein.
fine.
It's a little extra protein.
As you bring the elephant ear up to finish it up, it is molded and rotted and has maggots crawling all over it. Like it's been sitting out for months.
Oh, okay. Because I just ate
You've-
like 3 of those. So,
Yeah, you kind of think maybe,
Maybe you
felt
think
something
better
move?
of your. Oh no.
in my stomach,
you think you felt something move.
bubble guts happens a lot. With that Chinese restaurant down the block, you never know what you're gonna
This is
get.
why pasteurization is a national treasure.
It's just,
Past your what?
Pasteurization. It's what makes milk good to drink.
Yes, it comes from cows who are in pastures.
Yes.
yeah, let's
Moving
just go
on
with
with
that.
creepy bug things.
Yeah, creepy bug things.
What are you going to do, Lizzie?
I'm
really curious.
I don't know. Is this thing it doesn't have a head?
Well,
right?
its head's partially connected, but it's in too sad of a state after being smashed.
Yeah,
to
I
really
feel
do
like
much
it's
in-
pretty much done.
It is, yeah, but there's at least 300 or 400 other stuffed animals in this games and prizes area, slowly
Right.
crawling and slithering and glopping their way.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and take those darts that I
Oh
got.
yeah, you've got a bunch of darts.
Yeah, so I would like to kind of just double fist these animals, kind of start at the head and rip them down, kind of like I'm getting the stuffing out, just kind of take care of them as I go. Kind of like I'm raking the field. That's how you guys do it, right?
I believe that's called a hoe.
Oh, see? Same difference. I'm gonna hoe these animals,
Good God.
right? With my
I don't
darts.
think that means what you think it means.
Well, give me a fighting check since you're going to hand-to-hand combat there.
Oh, okay. With 8s.
Yep, use 8s, because you are in full avatar.
That's, you said fighting. Yeah,
Yep, that's your fighting.
I beat it by 8.
Beat it by 8. The first pair of stuffed animals you reach, you start to split open, and it has that really weird effect where you hit the stuffed animal part, and it's kind of difficult. And then you hit the soft, squishy flesh, and it's rotted and festering, and splits open, and it's all over your hands and wrists. You got maggots and worms and old blood and fluids on you.
Okay, well
gross.
then with every stab and pull, then I add a flick. And then a stab, pull, and a flick. Just get that off.
Beautiful.
Nothing but a little motion to it. Just how you dry your hands in the public bathroom
The
because there's no more
horde
towels.
crawls across, some of them taking several moments to get up over the counters of the game booths that they were in. And as soon as they reach the top, it's not as though they try to climb down, they just plop to the other side with a sickening, squishing noise. With their combination of stuffed limbs and real limbs, it's not really walking, it's pulling themselves along and leaving bits of themselves and slime and crap behind them. And the most disgusting little trails leading. As they get closer and closer. The only part that doesn't seem to just degenerate is each one of their heads is a maw that's massive compared to the size of the stuffed animal, with huge spiked teeth.
The huge spiked teeth.
They're getting closer and closer, and they are nearly to you, blood-curdling screamed angel.
I would like to invoke high society culture and give them a little lesson in how to be polite to strangers.
Go ahead and make a high society check as you begin explaining the ins and outs of proper etiquette.
Yes, I'm going to beat that by 5.
It is quite the explanation. You might even understand etiquette at this point.
Excuse me, I would like all of your attention. Scaring potential friends is not a way to keep your friends. I would like everyone please to line up and make a proper introduction at this point.
They are unresponsive to your pleas and continue to slide, slither, and slurch towards you.
Well, that is just rude.
Bobby?
While I appreciate it, and that was a good speech, I don't think they're trying to make friends. This is the beaches in Normandy, and we gotta get to it.
Yes, but the rules of engagement really should involve
A cup of tea? Polite conversation?
well, if you come right to it, yes.
There's maggots coming out of these bears.
I want to take a couple of shots.
Somebody was willing to
Some
eat
of the
the
nearest
maggots,
ones.
so...
Coming to us.
You can take multiple shots with multi-action penalty, or in the case I believe you might have more than one attack.
I've got dose.
All right, give me 2 shooting tests. He holds the wooden carved rifle up to his arm like it's really going to shoot.
Beat it by 6.
And then does shoot twice.
You have to say it.
And
Beat it by 8.
you have to say it.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Bang! Bang! 2 of the stuffed animals explode graphically. Chunks of flesh and stuffed animal flying.
Ugh.
He just banged. That
Just
shot.
banged them.
I purposefully didn't say that, and you had to go there.
That's what you did. Man, can
Lizzie?
I borrow that? Yeah, that worked pretty well. He take 2 shots.
There are hundreds more.
There are hundreds more. I still got my darts, right?
Oh, you've got plenty of darts.
Okay. Can I, so there are some like lined up closer to the walls or like the side of the
They're kind of at
booths?
this point, you've been worked back towards where like the entrance to the games and prizes are. You have like the opening winding path behind you, and then the full rectangle area of all the booths. And then the ones in the back are, of course, further away from you. The ones who are the closest booths who are almost to you.
Okay.
It's just kind of the whole mob of them stretching all the way back.
Okay. So kind
They're
of
not particularly quick.
I'm not quick.
They're not particularly quick. You know,
They're
the whole
not quick.
some of them being stuffed and some of them being fleshy. It's
Yeah.
kind of
Meat slapping the
Yeah.
ground.
it's really disturbing.
Yeah. So they're close to some walls, right? Like
Fences, yeah, fencing.
Oh,
White fencing with brush and shrubs and rust, and the brush and shrubs are all like grown out of control and covered in thorns, and they're as ugly and nasty looking as these creatures are, which is also strange because they were in the light bright and floral and beautiful and perfectly manicured. They are most certainly not now.
So no more perfect spheres.
No. No
Am
more
I-
perfect spheres.
am I close to any?
Of
Or
the-
do I see any like switches, like light switches or anything like that around? Like is there any like outlets or
I don't see a single electrical outlet, electrical street light, an extension cord, nothing.
nothing?
And that strikes you as horribly wrong.
Yeah, because the lights went out and then everything got evil. So where did that stuff turn on and off?
You don't even see light bulbs inside of the booths.
There's no light bulbs inside the booths?
You just realize you are now noticing that you don't know what was lighting it up before.
Yeah.
It was just lit, and now it's not.
Okay. The elephant that I got, right?
The elephant ear, the rotted
Or not
piece.
the elephant, the bear that I took.
Yes.
Okay, is he still kind of close?
Fairly, what's left of him.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is kind of like take a branch from one of the trees, kind of like poke him and then light him on fire, making a torch, and to see if like light or heat like changes these things back.
So are you going to try and set the stuffed animal part on fire as opposed to the fleshy bit?
Yeah, like kind of
Okay.
like take a branch and like kind of make a torch and then
You are going to
see-
make a torch of the stuffed bear flesh creature. I like this.
Yeah.
I like this idea. And you do have a lighter, am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I got my Zippo. Take it everywhere.
That's what I thought. She has a lighter. And she's setting something on fire.
Whoa.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty boss. Yeah, I stole it. No big deal. From this last house I had. The Zippo, not the fire. I
I'm
don't know.
supposed to steal things, though.
I'm with him. That is, again, rude. You're a thief.
I think it's rude that you
are
tried to
also-
lecture people while they're trying to
One
kill
of them
us.
has slithered up
I
to
was
your
trying
feet,
to remind
and
you
its
not
long,
understand.
sharp teeth break through the skin of your ankle.
Son of a... Not bad.
10 damage, Helen, to Angel. One of them is biting into her. The others have nearly reached you.
Oh, crap!
There are hundreds of them filling the courtyard, and more are spilling out from the booths. It's a veritable sea of fur and flesh, and not the good kind.
Like Hulk, very convention.
Flaming furry convention.
I don't want to know about your personal life. We have boundaries.
I don't think Bobby's discovered his fursona yet.
Have we... I'm sorry, did we cover whether or not the fire was affected?
She was building a fire,
She was
essentially.
building it?
She was lighting it on fire. We will get to that. Angel, you were just bit.
I
Its
have indeed.
teeth are still stuck in your ankle.
Shit.
It is incredibly, excruciatingly painful.
I would like to point out that at this point in time, I would likely be wearing boots that come up to mid-calf and are delicately buttoned and probably would provide a modicum of protection. But that's fine.
It's why you still have an ankle.
I would like to use my magic wand.
Excellent. Do you please make a magic roll?
I would love to.
Much like Bobby and his Karapuden gun, she has a stick, which seems to be playing with it as though it was a magic wand,
Yeah.
and points it at the head, clamped onto her boot.
Yeah, I didn't make that one.
Do you want to use your bonus
Yes,
to make
I
that
do.
happen? Will it, if you use it, will it be enough?
Yes. Yes. I will beat by 4.
She points this wand, and the head, pop, is feathers.
Feathers?
Nice little cloud of pink and white feathers.
Are there bubbles too? Tell me there are
Of
bubbles.
course there are.
Thank
bubbles.
you.
What's her ankle look like now?
Oh, it's bleeding badly.
Oh, it's still bleeding.
The thing that was biting her is no more. It's feathers. And
It's cute and
bubbles.
it's fluffy.
And there's blood.
Adorableness.
Yes, well, that won't last forever, will it?
Magic wand used. Bobby? There's a lot of them. They're still coming. One bit this poor girl next to you. She's bleeding pretty bad. But then
Yes,
she
and you should
made
feel
its
very
head
bad about that.
turn into feathers and bubbles.
Because I'm magic.
We're gonna have to talk about that more later, but for right now, I hate to suggest it, but I think we gotta beat feet. Can't take all of these things.
Beat feet? My
Run
foot is
away.
already beaten.
See,
Horribly
so it's
beaten.
already conducive to you running away to not get your other foot bit.
I don't think that having a beat foot is particularly conducive to go running anywhere.
It's. I propose that we leave by our fastest running speed.
Fantastic, you will be carrying me.
Let's just go.
Excellent. I'm a rider.
Down the path, darkness is spread here too. The rust, the vines, the thorny creepers, they choke the entire path and fence. And the overhanging arches look more like hungry mouths lined with thorny teeth than pieces of beauty. As you're running, the path narrows and narrows and narrows, till by the time you reach the courtyard edge, you are crawling to get out of it, and it's closed up behind you. The only one of these paths that's still open is the path that you previously took to the food court. It looks just as decaying and grim as the one you came from, but it hasn't squeezed shut yet. You can still hear those creatures coming down the path behind you. Slopping, sliding, slurping, and all kinds of other unpleasant noises. You head down towards the food court, almost as though they wait right for you to run through each one of those arches as you go through, clamped shut like a set of jaws. You're just waiting for that moment, right when you pass. All the vines and creepers move across, almost like they're trying to trip you and slow you down. And then you reach the food court. By the time you reach there, you are on your bellies, crawling to get underneath the archways and thorns. The empty courtyard of tables remains, but the booths are worn, all the wares are rotted and infested with maggots, flies, roaches, and worse. Piles of rotted food remain, including the table where you were eating at. Everything that you had left behind or hadn't finished is completely rotted and infested with maggots and worms. It's putrescent. You can feel the food in your stomach turning.
And
that's
that is
when
what happens when you eat
you drop to
street
all
food.
fours and you just start uncontrollably vomiting everywhere.
Again.
They're still wiggling around in the vomit when they come out. You can still hear this thing sliding and slurping along as you wipe your mouth off and pull yourself to your feet. There's another one of those flower pots on a different table with another pink and white flower and another envelope.
Barrister. Let's go
At
read
least
it.
I didn't say son of a bishop.
Oh yes, we wouldn't want to get lewd.
She's down and sick.
Has anyone got a stick of juicy fruit?
I don't know what juicy fruit is, but I have some gum if you want.
Yeah, I want some gum.
Oh, it's clove flavored.
The bag is
Please,
better.
please, blackjack all the way.
Oh.
God.
He actually does have gum. He does.
Right.
There's that letter in the envelope. They can hear them getting closer and closer.
Right. I feel like reading is a lovely and wonderful thing. However, also we are being pursued. I am curious to know if there is still oil, which I presume is flammable, in this food court.
I'm not sure. You'd have to go to one of the food courts where they deep fried stuff, but Angel doesn't know about deep frying so much.
But I know that there is grease everywhere.
Grease
And I remember that my
rottenness.
last nanny died in a grease fire, which was tragic.
Poor thing.
She should have made the eggs right first time.
Well, obviously, she clearly hadn't been appropriately trained. And
Well,
who's
what are we doing, folks?
I want to read the letter.
All right, you pull the letter out of the envelope, and
My continued attempts to reach you have failed. I hope by now you are aware of your predicament. Your situation is dire. While I cannot reach you directly yet, I have become aware that there is a highly intelligent and dangerous entity within the not metaverse that you are in. It has some form of direct influence or control here that is interfering with my ability to reach you. Be exceedingly cautious and stay together. There should be some place you can hide within one of the food stands until it is light. Your strength lies with each other as well as yourselves. I believe in you. Sincerely, Tom.
System shock. You're gonna go full pilot, Violet. All the way. One away from Avatar, Helen. And exactly in the middle, Jess. And now.
Okay, I don't know what exactly is going on here, but based on that, it looks like we need to find somewhere to hide in one of these stalls.
You have changed considerably. What is happening?
So, we are pilots. We are Metaverse pilots.
I am not a pilot.
I know you are not. You are Angel, are not a pilot, but you are sharing an experience with somebody else who sees what you're doing.
I certainly do not share. No one has ever made me share.
Well, this time someone has. I don't know who.
Rude again. Go on.
You know, I don't think this is of any use. Hey, look, you're bleeding. Why don't we go over to this place over here? There's like some ice. There's an ice cream thing right there. We'll get some ice. We'll just clean up the
I am
blood.
trained in a certain degree of medicine.
Great. Let's find a spot where we can hide from these things that are coming for us. You can treat yourself with your medicine. I am sure you are beyond capable of that.
Correct.
Great. So, shall we look through these places?
Digging through most of the booths, you can't really find any place you could hide until you find the walk-in refrigerator behind the ice cream booth. I feel like you could wedge this door shut pretty easily. It would be difficult for anything to get in.
Excuse me? Why is it cold?
Oh, it's rather room temperature, and the ice cream
Never
is
mind.
green and molded.
Retracted.
It is rather unpleasant still. There is nothing pleasant about this fridge. Or cold.
Is this what happens when you pasteurize milk?
This is what happens when you pasteurize milk and don't keep it cold.
I feel like this is all a ridiculous thing. Circular, you pasteurize it, you don't keep it cold, it goes green. It was going to go green anyway. What was the point?
You don't know when or how you got to this place. Your last memories were Wyatt reaching down and telling you it wasn't going to be that easy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use 2 meta points. Tom!
Silence greets you.
May I humbly request you try to shift your thinking back.
To when I was 8?
No.
7?
To when you weren't
6?
you.
When I wasn't me.
Yeah.
I have a very keen sense of self. I have always been me.
Well, that may be true for you, but it is not for our friend.
Can we use a meta point for her, you think? Because I feel like we're
Worth
gonna
a
go
shot.
nowhere with this. At least like what? I mean, we gotta use a couple.
Kind of.
Just kind of know.
You're going to have to appeal to that person down in there or manipulate the other person. One of the two.
Okay, so
One's easier than the other. It's just a little
We-
more dishonest.
we got off to a bad start. I'm sorry for any offense I caused you. I
You
know
look familiar to me.
That's good. That's good. Remember the letter we just got?
Yes.
It said we need to work as a team, right? So I know you don't share, and I know you're used to getting everything, but let's try and give to each other, right? So until we figure out what's going on and what we need to do and how to get back to what we're familiar with, yeah? Maybe?
Remember, the person who wrote the letter did write XOXO.
Right, and XOXO.
Tom!
Tom! And that means that we trust him because he wrote XOXO. Because, yeah. Right, that's how we do it. That's what you said.
Angel's a little bit crazy, guys.
Angel's
Yes,
a little, okay.
it seems so.
Okay, well, oh gosh. Hey, what was that stick you had there? Can I see that? You had this stick and it was really kind of cool.
It's a stick.
Yeah, can I see it for a second?
It is my magic wand. No, you may not.
Why can't I touch it? Just let me try it. Let me just see it.
It will not work for you.
I'm not trying to use it. I just want to see it.
You might break it.
I don't think it's going to be any more special than this gun. This is just a wooden rifle.
Yeah,
This should not fire anything. There's no bullets. There's no way to load it.
Excuse me? I would like to practice medicine on my ankle.
Excellent. Please do so.
Okay. I'm gonna match that.
Well, your bedside manner isn't so great, but you are able to treat the injury. You're not going to have any difficulty walking,
Oh, good.
and you're on the road to recovery.
Fantastic. Now for sepsis to set in.
Oh, lovely to see you.
Okay.
No, I'm sure the rotting toys were very hygienic.
A couple of hours pass, and you can see light going through the cracks of the walk-in fridge door.
That was not sealed particularly well.
No, it's not.
So, what do you remember before we got here?
I was riding a giant wolf.
That was pretty intense.
so you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so who was that? Did you have a magic wand then? Did you practice medicine then?
No.
Yeah, exactly. You were someone else. We all have different sides.
Great Scott, she's right.
Okay, so yes? Is it kind of coming back a little bit?
Yes, all right. I don't, it takes time.
Oh, of course it does.
She
This
speaks
is-
a lot.
Is this confusing?
And very loudly.
Yes. Well, you're kind of nice and delicate, but anyways, right? Tom.
I
Okay.
don't think he can hear us.
Yeah.
If I remember from our letters, Tom is trying to communicate with us, and it is not working.
I'm gonna take a quick peek outside the door.
You're going
It's
to take
light
a pee
out.
out of the
A
door?
peep.
Oh, peep.
It's
Peep.
light out again, seemingly in just a few hours. There's no sign of the rot or garbage. Like, all of the booths are pretty and shiny again and all lit up again, and the food smells good, and there's fresh elephant ears hanging and corn dogs turning, and not even the signs of your vomit are there anymore. Perfect. Immaculate. Beautiful. You can hear the sounds of the carnival and the laughing children.
So that was weird.
Yeah, I didn't really notice it as much, but those laughing children are incredibly off-putting.
I don't even see any children.
I haven't seen anyone else but us.
Just hear them.
Oh my god, is it the souls of the children trapped here?
Huh?
What?
Souls of children?
That is, to me, the only explanation for laughter that you can, of children that you cannot see.
Can I look up and see where the light bulbs are and stuff?
No,
The
I cannot
booths
see
are lit
the
with
children
no
where the laughter
light
is coming
bulbs.
from.
The sky
Sassy
is
little
beautiful and blue
barrister.
with no sun in it. There is no visible source for any of this light.
The Truman Show!
I do not understand.
I don't. Never mind.
Okay.
Yes, in all likelihood, but some malevolent entity rather than Ed Harris.
One of the same.
Yes, 6 of 1.
Is that flower pot still on the table?
Yep, still just sitting there.
Is there
there a
anything
letter?
under?
Only the one that you had already read.
Is there anything under the flower pot? Is it
No, but
connected
it is.
to anything?
It is a perfect like blue and
Is
a
it the
perfect
same blue
pink
as
and
the
white
sky?
flower. No, it's like that.
Hey!
Oh.
Why don't you use your magic stick and kind of just like bop it on the flower top and...
Like that, yeah, like that. The kids watching at home.
Yes, I think that is an excellent
Do
idea.
your magic stick and bop it on the flower top.
I would
Make
love-
it into a carriage.
Welcome back, pilots.
A Tom
Now
carriage,
you're
hopefully.
feeling more yourselves. Of course. It is somewhat concerning that you were dumped into a non-metaverse in full avatar. Isn't it? Hashtag MetaPoint.
Oh,
you.
thank
Thank you.
I wish I could hear that.
Excellent.
I feel as though I recollect something about loot boxes.
I think you should
Man.
bop the flower top first.
Yes,
Where
but what
would
if
they
something
be?
horrible happens?
I got
and
my
we
darts.
need
And we need what?
and we need whatever is in that loot box.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, it's a pretty day, right? You want an elephant ear?
No, decidedly not.
Now, despite how hungry you are, after what you saw, you're not very interested in those elephant ears.
In that case, I would like to channel all of my fairy magic as the self-appointed fairy queen to summoning Tom through his flower.
Make a magic roll.
That sounded dirty too. It's like everything.
Yeah, it's everything she says.
To increase the likelihood of this working,
It's like it's
I'm
an
gonna-
extra incentive to want to go see her in the Die Hard musical.
Especially if I'm playing a 12-year-old. All right, I'm using up a meta point to go
This
full.
is exactly what.
This is your cast.
All right, I'm using up a meta point so that the likelihood of my magic working will be increased. All right.
Meta point used.
Oh, wrong sheet.
Oh,
So much paper.
full avatar again.
Sorry.
I don't need to do anything to them. I just put Helen on their team and it's set.
And you give me sugar. That's the real mistake. All right. There we go. Oh, yeah. I'm going to beat that, and I'm going to beat it hard. Yeah, I heard that one, too. All right. Yeah. Going to beat it by 6.
You channel the most powerful magic that Angel can pull from the worlds of fairies, and she has no idea what a tom is, and there's a flower there laying where the pot was. Good job.
Just a flower?
Yep, just a flower.
I thought perhaps I would summon a cat. We have an old dirty Tom at home.
And then you don't remember it.
Angel doesn't know what Tom is. Sort of lost herself in the middle of the spell there.
Well, shit, we should probably try that again and move one over.
Try again.
Okay, using up another meta point. Alright. I would like to summon Tom. Beat it by 1.
Just a little puff of smoke, and about a 4-inch tall, looks identical to Tom, is standing there on the kitchen table. His head wobbles a little bit when you push him. Back and forth. You have a Tom bobblehead.
Bobblehead Tom?
Yeah, you have a bobblehead.
Do we just like poke him in the head
Yep,
repeatedly?
it's a bobblehead. It's seemingly made of plastic.
Does it talk?
Doesn't do a thing.
Okay,
A bottle.
well, I don't trust that. Eventually-
50% better looking than you expected.
Yes, all the irregularities have been smoothed out by the plastic.
We'll definitely hang on to that because that will come into great use one day.
You have a bag.
Yeah.
You should put the bobblehead.
Swipe the bobblehead.
Put it on your sheet.
Got it in there.
You got a
Guys.
Tom bobblehead. Put that down. It's
Tom
important.
bubbles.
Tobblehead. Tobblehead.
Bubble top.
Now what?
Bubblehead.
Tactical operations matrix.
The tactical bobblehead. More
Okay.
points? Oh,
I lost myself there.
no kidding.
So, it seems like we're all from different points in time as well. In terms of our avatars this time.
Yeah.
Are you from
you
the
can
future?
you can tell that in their terms of their dress alone. Why
Yeah.
none of them are dressed anywhere near as modern as any of you. In fact, Lizzie's the closest, and that was before you were really doing anything. She's probably older than you were at whatever era she's from.
So I don't know why these three got pulled to this place that's outside the metaverse.
It doesn't
but
make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like, we're in a metaverse purgatory.
Shit.
This is about the Borgs.
We're being punished. We're being punished right now. We're in the Project
We're in
Metaverse
hell.
purgatory.
Not quite hell. We're in the waiting room.
We're in the waiting
We're in
room.
the waiting room.
We are waiting
Oh.
for Gadot. Tom. Really?
God damn it.
Still nothing.
I know how this doesn't end.
Are there any trees around?
They're back to the perfectly manicured. Like everything
Yeah.
is back to the perfect part. Just absolute perfect. But you'd have to get over one of the fences to get to where one of the trees are.
And the gates that we went to last time when we left to go to the games, they're good again?
Everything's all back to like it was when you came into the park. Perfect, pretty, pristine.
Should we gather weapons?
Well, I mean, there's not... There might be, like, tongs to deep fry stuff.
We can go.
I got darts.
I'm sure there are hooks to bring stuffed animals up and down off of their, off of their.
You head back to the games and prizes to look for useful things to hunt. Okay.
Yeah.
You head back to games and prizes. Useful items besides the darts, there are all kinds of little gaming implements, rings for tossing, those little poles for pulling the stuffed animals down.
That could easily be a
Um,
spear.
Those pellet rifles are pretty underpowered and they're connected together. They probably wouldn't do much, but if you want to take them, you could probably break the cable and take it.
I
It's
mean-
like a Red Rider.
But not during the day, but during the night they seem to be effective.
Didn't use one at night. He used this wooden carved gun and said bang, and it worked.
Mm.
Though you might have a little trouble with that.
I would bet so.
The most interesting news that nice little mallet they use for the ring the bell for the strongman competition thing. It's pretty sturdy.
Yeah, we'll take that.
That's probably the nastiest looking thing over here.
There are
And did
probably
you not
knives in the food court.
There probably are.
I feel like, and by I think this entity that calls itself Andy inside of me probably wants a knife.
You are able to quite easily get a couple of small knives from the food court.
What about a cleaver?
No, nobody's doing that kind of work. The only knives are like paring knives anyway. They're short, they're small, but they'll work. You can still stab someone with them.
I
Believe me,
can
a small
still
knife.
undo stitches.
Just
Small
a
knives are
thought.
better for close anyway.
It just turned day. It's not going to be night or dark for a really long time. Let's gather up all these prizes and stuffed animals and stuff. Let's burn it all. Let's burn it right now.
While it's still harmless.
While it's harmless, let's just burn it.
I'm in for that. Let's
No
give it a
one,
try.
no one's here. No one's gonna miss. No one's in charge.
Time to make some flaming teddies.
Yeah, I
You
got
start
this.
gathering up these stuffed
We
animals.
got this grease.
Flaming
Piling 'em
teddy
up.
makes me think of something.
It's a
Probably
shot.
not important. It's a
You're bringing one of the armloads of stuffed animals back, and the pathway that you came in, about halfway down back towards the courtyard, you see a little boy running full speed away from you. giggling and laughing.
No.
Guys,
Hmm.
I just saw someone.
Fantastic. Maybe he knows what's happening.
Little boy heading right down there.
I don't see a little boy. Is this like yesterday when you saw something moving and then all of a sudden it was murderous?
Well,
I
he
sure hope
saw
not.
he saw something and it ended up being a thing. So I'm gonna trust you on this one. Where did he go?
Find the
Back-
child.
Back towards the courtyard.
Okay, let's go.
Yep.
But we still got the animals.
You had a
I wanna-
pile going so far.
Yeah, I
Pile
want more.
going.
Okay, good.
There is quite a large pile going.
Okay,
at the
good.
moment. You head back towards the courtyard, and right as you're reaching there, sort of a slow jog, you see him disappear down the path with the multicolored sign that reads Funhouse.
No. I have a question about mirror magic before we enter any fun houses.
What are you? What else do you know?
I am the self-appointed queen of the fairies, obviously.
What are you?
Do you mean the kid?
Yeah.
He's just a kid.
I know, but like in every other place, like I kind of knew what you were because we were all similar. Now we're all different. You're busting out sticks and turning in pink feathers, and like now you have mirror. Like, what are? Let's talk about who we are, so I know that like if we need to help each other, we know what we each other got, right? What do you got? You got a gun that looks fake but apparently works.
I got a gun that.
Here, can I have it right now? Can I try it out? Okay, I'm gonna take his gun.
It's a wooden. It's like a piece of wood somebody carved to look like a
Right,
rifle.
but you said bang, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna shoot it into. I'm gonna aim at the teddy pile.
Okay.
Bang!
You make a loud bang noise and nothing happens.
Great, awesome, cool. So you can use your gun. What else do you want?
Well, I'm not sure if I can use it right now. I was able to use it when I was full Bobby. I'm all Wyatt right now.
Oh no.
So I wouldn't bet on that being something we can utilize until I move myself back towards Bobby.
Okay.
He's just a 12-year-old kid from the early 50s.
With an imaginary gun that works.
Seems to here.
At nighttime.
At night? Is that when your stuff works?
No, mine seems to work all of the time. Remember the Tom bobblehead?
Oh yeah.
Bobble Tom.
Bobble
TN.
Tobble.
Hashtag Bobble Tom TN.
What about yourself?
I'm just handy. I don't got magic like you guys. You got imaginary guns and stuff. I got a slingshot here, I got a switchblade, and I collect everything. So nothing special about me.
Well, and again, outside of the gun working here, I don't think there's really anything special about Bobby.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like he is not the self-appointed queen of the Fae. No disrespect intended. So,
That's all right. You are welcome to be one of my subjects.
This is what I'm talking about.
looking forward to serving. So no, I'm at a loss with you. I don't know why we're here. I don't know where Brony is. I mean, I haven't
Maybe
seen
he
him.
was too bad and he didn't even make it into purgatory. He just went straight on through.
You know, I hope
He
not.
said, take it up, or he pulled one.
Got the short straw.
Stranger things have happened.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Brony, for one.
Speaking of Stranger Things. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess you got your gun, and that might work at night, and that's it. You can do whatever you want, apparently.
Yes.
Oh, and you've got the mallet now, right?
Oh yeah, no, I'll collect everything if you want me to.
It's a big mallet.
Yeah.
It'll take some effort for Lizzie's 12-year-old frame to swing it, but when she brings it down, it's going to hurt.
Like the hammer of Thor. Let's do it. Okay, well,
I mean, it's kind of oversized, like on purpose,
Absolutely.
ridiculously so. Like
Yeah.
the whole carnival thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a little absurd.
Well, I'd like to burn this pile of teddy bears we got going right now.
You would have to go back to the fun and games.
Currently,
Oh,
we're
it's
at
over
the
there.
fun
Because you
house.
chased
Okay.
the boy to
And
the
I
courtyard.
would like to explore some of those mirrors.
Okay, let's do it.
You follow the path that you follow the red fun house. The building in question at the end of the path is a irregular shape and size. There's no set size to its various windows, and it's made of incongruent shapes and motley colors. There's but a single brightly painted yellow door for the entrance, and the boy closes it behind him just as he goes in, right as you reach there, giggling fiercely.
Rude.
So we're inside or outside?
He is inside. You are outside staring at this fun house. Different shapes, very incongruous,
I would like
weird
to approach
colors.
the door and knock politely and ask that he open it.
Nothing happens when you approach the door.
Well, then I shall have to send around a calling card and we can talk to him later.
Or
Or
we can open the door.
that would be rude. What if that is his house? We were not invited.
If this nightmare is his house, then I would assume he is our host.
And he is sending half-rotting sentient teddy bears after us.
Are you saying
This does
didn't
not
say
seem
he
like
was a
somebody
good
that I
host.
would like to piss off, but that's fine. You go ahead and break and enter.
I got this big ass hammer?
Let's just see if the door opens.
Okay, I'm just
I'm
saying.
going to do it the easy way.
It
That's fine.
opens right up when you turn the handle away. It's a small, dimly lit room. There's a shelf and a coat rack next to the door. To the right, there is a small door, barely 3 feet high, painted bright green. Ahead, there is a massive door painted red, taking up almost the whole wall. And then to the left, a plain, simple wooden door like you can see inside of most houses.
Well, the tiny door looks tailor-made for me.
You approach the tiny door. It is a tiny, bright green door. Even you are going to have to crouch or to go through it if you open it.
Like Alice in the Looking Glass.
You open up the tiny door and proceed through it. Anyone else doing anything?
I would like to follow her.
You have to get down almost on your knees, crawling behind her. And then third, Lizzie, you get in behind, and right as you're about to step into the door, the floor opens up beneath you. And down a greased chute, you start to slide. The
Grease.
steel digging into you.
Is it a cheese grater?
No, she's sliding down a greased chute.
Precisely.
Do you wonder why they're all filthy minded?
I wasn't going to say that on purpose. The corkscrew pattern, you go down and down and down and then crash into a ball pit. Straight out of Chuck E. Cheese.
Too many balls, not enough time. Couldn't help myself. I'm sorry, go on.
You guys heard a scream from behind you. Turning around, Lizzie's gone.
Okay. I'm not loving this. Apparently she is.
I've never seen anyone so happy about balls. I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm back. Okay. Guys, I need to sleep.
You're not happy with this. What are you
Juggled
doing?
with a blob.
Shall we press on or try and see if we can join her?
I mean, she can probably take care of herself.
Okay, let's.
Unless you'd like to go wherever it was that she happened to disappear to.
Well, I'd hate to leave her on her own.
You're not even sure how you'd get to her. There's no grease to shoot anymore.
There's nothing else in there. She's just gone.
It closed right behind her.
Okay. Let's press on.
You enter a set of mirrors around you, and it's all you can see is a reflection of yourselves in various angles. Some of them stretched and warped so that you look taller or skinnier or fatter. Your face distorted in them. And it starts to grow a little colder. Swimming through the ball pit, whatever's on the bottom is really slick, so even when you do get your feet down, it's really hard to not just fall back down into the balls, crash around a bunch, and then get back to your feet. And it takes almost a minute to get over to the edge. Just so you can grab onto something, get stable, and then something grabs your ankle.
Oh no!
Because part of Andy was in Angel when she summoned the Bobble Tom, she opened a small channel that is just big enough for Tom to send his voice to the pilots and communicate with them through the Bobble Dom. #HackAttack.
Oh!
Tiny Tom Adventures.
I think that needs to be a story that comes out.
Oh yes.
That's amazing.
Tiny Tom Adventures. Tiny Tom is
Something
in the ball
grabs your
pit.
ankle and yanks you back into the ball pit.
Is it Tiny Tom?
No, I got Tiny Tom. He's in my sack.
In the ball pit.
I don't think I never heard that. I got it.
See, it's working.
I got it.
And from here on out, everything is plain white rooms with nothing in it. That's just it. That's all you get. Forever now.
Tom, I'm so scared.
You hear a distant, sharp scream very briefly from below. It's grown cold in the mist in the mirrors. You hear that boy giggle again somewhere in the maze ahead of you.
I would like to take the mirror out of my pocket.
Yours is polished silver as opposed to mirror. It's much finer than these
Yes, I'm sure.
things.
However, I assume that if I hold it so that it is reflecting infinity into another mirror, I can step into that space, look through every mirror that exists, find this boy, and go and speak with her.
Oh, amazing. Give me a magic roll.
I would love to. I'm also
Very
going to
well
use a
found.
meta point.
Back to full avatar.
You're welcome, kids.
Finding a boy.
Rose, they have cooties.
Of any of the three of them, most likely, I mean, that time period is only a few years away from marriage.
Oh, God. Well, is he cute?
Okay,
Is
so
his family well off?
That's a more important question for Angel.
Well, it doesn't really matter. I am, after all, the self-appointed queen of the fairies. No man could measure up.
He's got a nice.
Oh, I'm going to beat that. Very well. Very, very spiky.
Turns the mirror and disappears. Gone.
What?
Come on!
You're now behind that boy. He's down on his knees ahead of you, probably the distance of me to you. Very, very short. Like at a dead end in the mirror maze. His head is held in his hands, and he's whimpering.
Little boy, what is wrong?
He just keeps whimpering. He's coming.
Who is coming?
Can you hear him?
I cannot.
He's coming. Don't look! I don't want to look! I don't want to look! And he lifts his head up. His eyes are gouged out, and rivulets of blood are streaming from the sockets down his face. He
Angel
screams
makes a blood-curdling scream.
and separates into thousands of shattered bits of mirror in front of you.
I would like to collect one of those bits of mirror.
Oh, you collected several. Take 20 damage.
Son of a bitch! 20?
Yes. And each of those little bits of reflection of him still have his image on them, reflected.
Hey, you dead, Mon?
Exhausted, you finally pull yourself free. Flopping over the side and landing in something slick and disgusting outside of the ball pit. It's pretty dark. Climbing to your feet, you hear a switch being flipped, and red light bulbs around the perimeter of the room light up in a soft glow. Blood. Blood covers the floor, the walls, your hands, your knees, your face, oozing and dripping like a wound. From above, you hear the blood-curdling scream.
Guys!
In the maze, you hear the sounds of heavy footfalls coming from the start of the maze. Behind you, the entrance. Closer. They're coming. They're coming.
I am going to stay as stealthy as possible, and I'm going to try and go further into the maze.
Make a, I believe a covert ops for what next roll to make?
Made that by 8.
You go down a few passageways and then you come across Angel, bloody, stuck. Mirror shards are in her. She's pulling them out. She looks horrified and in shock.
What happened?
The little boy exploded, which I wasn't exactly expecting, and I guess I am now full of shards of little boy, which I was also not expecting, and I just don't know what to do about that.
Okay.
I don't know if I use my
The
mirror
ceiling
magic
above
at
you
this point,
creaks
if it
and
would-
groans when one of those footfalls and little dust particles fall.
You mean blood particles? Don't.
Then you hear a door slam.
I am very sorry to hear that, and we will absolutely do what I can to help. But if you hear those footfalls, something is coming for us, and we need to keep moving.
Unless I take us into the mirror realm, where we can watch and not.
You're not sure what's going to happen if you try that again, or what's going to happen if you try it with him.
Fine. What even is the point of being queen if you cannot do what you want?
It's a terrible burden, I'm sure.
Yes, it is!
You follow the mirrored hallways further in. What are you doing, Lizzie, covered in blood in the basement?
Well, you said that there was a small red light. I guess I'm
It's not a
looking.
glowing red light. You can now see a little bit more of the room. Besides the ball pit that dominated it, there's a little set of stairs that kind of goes up and curves around on one corner of the room, and the other corner is like an open archway with the beginning of tracks and a little cart set into it with seats, 4 little seats set into it, with the little T-bars for people to fold over on their laps.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
and that is the sort of thing that you get into and then get immediately beheaded.
Yeah, but that was my favorite level in Donkey Kong, so
Touche!
I feel like I know how to beat that. I can play that
There's a
level with my
large lever
eyes
set into the
closed.
ground next to it. When you guys are making your way, you can hear those steps getting closer and closer. And you hit a dead end and double back and then another dead end. And right when you feel like you're gonna come right around to the corner, whatever's making those noise, you find a door. An inset plain wooden door. Flinging it open, there's stairs that descend down. It smells of blood.
Fucking great.
I
Sorry. Oh, damn it.
Hear a door opening?
You
Do
heard
I
a door
hear-
open.
Hey, guy. What do I say? I can't whistle. Oh God.
I hear a
You hear
bird.
that from down below.
What are birds doing downstairs?
Maddox?
Down the
How did
stairs,
you
you
get
see.
Maddox from a bird?
You see the scene that I just
She sounds like a
described,
bird.
with the ball pit in the center and the cart on the tracks, the lever next to it, the dim lights. Thump, thump. Footsteps get closer, and the red lights dim a little. And the ones furthest back towards the stairs shatter.
I really don't see anywhere else to go but that cart and those
And
tracks.
in that very moment,
Hey. Hello?
Tom.
I need to. Quickly as you can. It's very. You need. Run! Now!
and then disappears as quickly as he came.
Let's get in that truck. Get in that cart.
You pull the lever, and the cart grinds, cranks, and slowly begins to pick up speed. Just as you enter the darkness, manic laughter follows in the tunnel behind you. Oh, run, my little children. It makes it all the sweeter. The cart grinds along, bouncing along tracks in the vast open darkness. The rails it travels on, seemingly the only thing in the pitch black void. Fluttering wings can be heard. A single ugly, gnarled crow lands on the edge of the cart, a disconnected eyeball hanging from its beak. The eye slowly turns up to regard you.
No.
Just ignore it.
Excuse me, Mr. Bird, where did you get that eyeball?
The crow gets annoyed, dances around, drops the eyeball, and it lands somewhere rolling beneath your feet on the floor of the cart as it flies off. Slowly, the cart starts to pick up speed, faster
Where's
and
the eyeball?
faster, sloping downward somewhere in your
Around
feet.
on the floor, which
You know,
is
like that
not where
can
we
that
wanted
you
it to
lost, and
be.
yeah, it's down there somewhere, except it's an eyeball.
I was gonna put my hand down there, try and reach for it. Try and hold on to it. See it. See if I recognize it. I don't know.
See, this is what witches use to do magic, and that is so much grosser than fairy magic, and I just don't understand why people would go to those such lengths when there are things like magic wands and mirrors, and you had to have toadstools. I do not understand.
Okay.
The cart grinds along, it's bouncing along the tracks in the darkness, sloping downwards, speeding up, faster and faster.
Let's get a hashtag cool rule started, because it looks like we're going to need it.
Hashtag what?
Cool. Oh, they're gonna need it. As it's bouncing along, it starts to leave the tracks for a second. It's going so fast. Like whole 2 or 3 seconds where you just are floating along and then BAM! Solidly back in. That's sliding and wobbling like
This
it's
does
gonna
not
kick
seem
clear
very
at any
safe
moment.
to me, and my mother
Sparks
told
are
me
flying
not to
from
do
the
anything
wheels.
that wasn't safe.
It nearly flies off the track as you round corners, hurtling around. Forks in the track begin to spring up before you. The first set that you come across passes too
Is it a
quickly for
dinner
you to do
fork, a
anything.
dessert fork,
No,
a
no, no.
salad
Forks in the
fork?
path. Forks in the path.
I see.
As the tracks fork, the first one, it comes upon you too swiftly for you to even do anything. It's about 10 feet and a dead end. Solid. If you had gone down that left path, there would be nothing of you. Continuing to race, it drops down and you can see another one of those forks. The left path leading into brutal and ugly looking spikes. The right path not. And the tracks are lined up with the left. What do you do?
Magic fucking wand.
What was that?
I propose that I use my magic at this juncture in order to change our trajectory.
Go, 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 go.
Thank you. And it's good.
You are able to make the switch just in the last couple of yards, diverting the tracks and heading down the right, passing the wicked blades. Skipping a page. Slowly, it begins to grind uphill, slowing down, losing a little of that speed. You're still going pretty swiftly, and then slower and slower, and then by the time it flattens out, you're kind of just going that grinding pace you were at the start, barely faster than a walk. As the cart plods along, it enters a vast, dank cavern.
1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy, 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret never to be told, 8 for a wish, 9 for a kiss, 10 for a bird. You must not miss hashtag cool rule.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I believe that's totally paid off. That looks
No,
like
not quite.
not quite.
No,
not
50.
quite. Okay. Almost. Very, very close, guys. It enters a vast, dark cavern. You can smell rot and filth. There's water everywhere. Beneath the tracks, water, brackish and dark, sloshes over them occasionally. So they're floating in it.
This will absolutely ruin my shoes.
You are quite correct. Within moments, your shoes are ruined.
Well, to be fair, they were covered in blood and full of puncture holes, but that's fine.
You're pretty sure it's sewage.
I was gonna say, does it smell?
Again with the sepsis.
It does seem to be a theme.
Everyone give me a notice check if you got it.
I'm sorry, what? I don't.
I mean, not as Maddox.
Some of you don't notice things as well as others.
Yes, I notice things very well right now.
Something dark, long, and tendril-like noiselessly slides through the water, disappearing beneath the tracks.
Guys, there's something in the water, something tentacly.
Why do you always see these things?
Well, it is my gift and my curse.
Where is it? Point it out next time you see it. Where's it? It's in the water?
It had been right over there. I'll keep my eyes peeled, though.
Bursting from the water around the cart, 10 long, thick, dark tendrils, each with cruel, wicked-looking suckers with a barb in the center of them, come out around their
cars.
Stop it. There are several of these dice in my new set I do not need for Metaverse. They can reach you. We'll see about that.
I want to grab
Mommy
one of
and
my
Daddy
darts.
are fighting.
I want to grab one of my darts.
Let's make
and
some
I was
initiative rolls,
gonna
shall we?
say, Eights.
You know what? I'm gonna use a meta point. So
Oh, moving away. Also,
I'm actually going to use a meta point as well.
1, 2, 3 of them?
Yep.
Dang.
well, see, we gotta drain it down so that chat doesn't get all of the points.
Oh, really? You're doing it for points now? Is that really what you're doing?
No, I just want a higher initiative.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Oh no.
Be honest.
Did not
Pew,
work out particularly well.
Pew pew is right.
Oh no, it worked out wonderful.
All right. What?
21.
21. Not bad. Andy?
Wait, what's our initiative one again?
32.
32.
Good grief.
Fast!
Andy James is fast.
What?
I'm at 22.
22. Same as me. All right, Lizzie. Well, 32 beats all of us by quite a bit.
Excellent. I would
what are
like
we
to
going
open
to
a loot box.
Thanks to that hack attack. You get it.
Yeah, it's just tiny and in Jess's or in Lizzie's backpack.
What? What?
Your backpack just suddenly got very heavy.
Very heavy.
My backpack got really heavy.
Really heavy. There's a box in it now.
There's a bot. Oh.
There's a loot
Oh!
box in your.
Squishing you down.
Oh.
You're welcome. I'm here to serve.
Tom! Tom!
Thanks, Tiny Tom.
Tiny Tom!
That seemed to come from the little bobblehead.
Tiny Tom. Okay. Tom!
I am here to serve.
Okay, can I have that box now, please?
Loot box! Both of them are out now.
What? Both of them? For why?
You asked for another one.
No, I did not. I asked for the original one.
You were talking to me.
Son of a-
I gave you the first one, so I gave you the other one.
Oh.
I'm here to serve.
Would somebody like one of these? I feel very guilty. No.
Oh.
All right. On the count of 3, 2, 3.
Hey!
Loot box number 1 contains
A portable handbrake.
a portable
Son of a
handbrake.
bitch.
That would have been handy earlier.
Cool.
Loot box number 2 contains
A full-size mirror.
Can I trade you?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Excellent.
Handbrake.
Gosh, I
See?
look lovely today.
Sharing is caring.
Now, you and me have the same, so we're gonna find out which one of us. Yeah, it's gonna go first. You ready?
Okay, right. Ah!
I'll go. 4 of them are going to attempt to push the cart over into the water. The remaining 6 are going to try and pluck you hapless 12-year-olds out.
Wait, could you say that one more time?
Plump.
Pluck you hapless
pluck.
12-year-olds out.
That is not where I was going with that, believe it or not. I just didn't hear.
Oh,
Uh-huh. I believe you.
Well, you should. I do not lie. I'm not rude.
I am here to serve.
so we got a sewage squid?
4 of them push into
That's
the
some
side of the
shitty
cart.
calamari.
2 of them push it up onto one of its sets of wheels. You are almost tipping over to the side. The remaining 6, 2 of them attempt to grab hold of you, Wyatt Maxwell. One of them does grab hold of you.
Duck! You're welcome.
It's not a duck. It's a squid.
I hate sushi.
Met?
Met is enough. You are able to worm out of the way before those barbs stick into your flesh. 2 of them try to pull little Miss Angel over the side. One of them is able to grab hold of her. And Miss Lizzie,
That one's got you. You're welcome.
you're just too quick for
Thanks.
both of them to try and get you. One of them's real close, but you're too fast. Too much time on the streets.
Yeah.
Too many people have tried to grab hold of you.
Nice
Good thing.
moves.
I know how to dodge. Thanks.
My arms don't move.
I've never had my own.
Now we will go to
To me.
yes.
Okay,
Did
so
that tentacle get a hold of you, by the way?
yeah.
It hit you. I didn't get your defensive roll.
Wait, what?
I gotta find out if you're still in the cart or not.
Yeah.
All right,
That
I
might
need to
be
beat
important.
an 8 on DCV. Is that right?
Yes, so you might have another option you could
I
use.
do have
down
another
there.
option.
You do have it.
I do have another. What time is it?
She's gauging the time. It's
Yep.
7:47, my
It
dear.
is 7:47. Okay.
Too soon.
Okay. Right. I mean, I'm gonna try to roll this and then potentially call on some help. And actually, I'm gonna call on some help with the Fierce Defender!
Ah, Fierce Defender. Out of nowhere, a beautiful, like, romance novel looking knight appears for just the briefest second. Very, like, valiant stance, blocks the tentacle with his shield, and then just as quickly is gone.
Who are you?
Thank you, Edward.
That's
That was
Andy
very
James. You're welcome.
Thanks.
I am here to serve.
Wyatt?
I am going to try. So nobody is grabbed by a tentacle at this point.
Not yet. It was really close, but somehow
Yeah.
mystic, weird defender from nowhere. What was that?
The self-proclaimed Queen of the Fairies. It's a good title to have, man.
You swear you saw that guy on the cover of some bad romance novel at some point, too.
It was a very good romance novel.
You read a lot of bad romance novels in prison.
You know, the library's only so big, you get bored.
It was called Lace and Steel.
One of the best.
Slightly historically inaccurate. Especially where the costumes were concerned.
I can see that being a problem.
Fewer layers.
Well, the problems were really that they were employing hooks, which were not machined until much later in time.
Take it right out then. I'm going to go ahead and attack the... I'm going to try to take a shot at 2 of the different tentacles.
Okay.
Bang, bang!
Oh. Yeah, here, you can do it. Yeah, you're on that side. Okay.
Made it by 6. Made it by 6.
2 tentacles are shot. And they grotesquely separate from the fictional bullet wound. Part of them just flopping over and falling away. Now it rides really quickly to broken, bloodied end and then sinks back down. There are now only 8.
And then I want to hop out of the cart onto the tracks.
So it's in water. So you're like in ankle-deep water standing on tracks. You're okay with that?
I'm not super thrilled with it, but
And the cart has not stopped.
Then never mind.
It is still moving, just not particularly fast.
You could stop it.
With the brake.
With the handbrake.
Oh. That too. You're welcome.
Thank you, Tom.
Angel?
Oh yeah, it's me. Can I trap the squid in the mirror realm?
You would have to see a squid, and you're assuming it's a squid.
I can't just... No. Let's see. What would I like to do? There's still...
Oh yeah, there are 8 of them still. 8 writhing, ugly, nasty tendrils, tentacles, whatever you want to call them.
And high society culture won't work.
You didn't try it yet, but so far it hasn't been extremely successful in
No
communicating.
tentacles at the table. There isn't a table though, and that's problematic. You alright? Okay, great. I feel like full-length mirror could be set up in such a way that if any tentacles tried to get to us through the mirror, they would just go into the mirror realm and not hurt us at all.
So you're going to use the mirror to create some form of shield?
Is it a shield or is it a portal?
You're stopping the attack, isn't it? Correct.
Yes. By
We'll go with the
diverting it
shield.
into another realm.
Used by
I'll go with shield terminology.
algae as a diversion.
Don't mind me. I look like I'm agreeing with everyone. You're welcome.
So what I'm going to do for that is your action's going to be considered readied, and you're going to make a magic roll on your turn if tentacles attack. And you're going to use that to try and stop them.
Okay.
All right. Excellent. Well, we already did rock, paper, scissors to who was going to be next, and it's going to be me. So
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can push that cart all the way over and maybe drown one of you.
You jerk.
How deep is the water?
I look like I'm agreeing with everyone.
Yes.
Cart goes over the side. Everyone in the cart, give me defensive rolls to make it out in time.
I do not have a defensive.
No, you're in my bag. You're in my bag.
Your fate is tied to whatever happens to Lizzie.
I met it.
Except for in your case,
Oh, no.
Helen, you can actually make a magic roll instead, and if you overcome it, they don't have to worry about the cart getting too
Oh,
close.
fantastic. I overcame that. By 4.
As the tentacles push in, you slide the mirror over the side and reflect them back. And instead of pushing the cart over, they end up pushing the cart back onto the tracks
From the opposite
from the
direction.
opposite direction.
Because it's a mirror.
Congratulations on your lucky unintended consequence. You're welcome.
However, the ones trying to pull you out and physically kill you are still trying to do so. There's just less of them now.
I'm gonna you trying to kill us right now?
I think it was
Well, in
four
your
on the card.
case, there are 2. For them, it was only 1.
Okay. 2 are going at me. That's.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna comment.
Neither am I.
I'm
It's
just gonna
best
nod,
that
yes.
way. Moving on. Listen, none of the tentacles were able to get a hold of anyone this round.
Yeah. Awesome. So are we still moving?
It's
even
still
though,
moving. It's just
even
not
though that flip
particularly-
thing happened?
It almost got it all the way over, but instead of it pushing it over, she used that mirror and they pushed it right back on, and it's still just grinding along.
It's still grinding along.
Barely faster
Can
than a
we
walk,
make
but
it
it's going.
go? Can we make it go faster?
I was gonna say,
Have you tried pushing forward on the brake instead of pulling back on it?
Let's go faster.
Yeah.
I don't have many weapons with me.
I mean, forward seems like go to me.
Yes. Forward!
The response is immediate. Yeah, you are hurled back into the seat.
Hooray,
give
I
me an
serve.
Athletics check.
Yes.
Give me an athletics check if you have one to try and keep your hands on the handle. If you fail this check, no one is guiding the brake or accelerator anymore.
I won't fail because I beat it by 10.
Beat it by 10. All right, you guys make checks to stay inside the cart now at maximum speed.
What are we rolling against?
Whatever you feel is relevant to help you stay inside of a cart at maximum speed. She just went from about 5 miles an hour to 55 on a rail cart.
Whee!
I feel like that is high society culture. A woman never
And then I take
disembarks from a
this zip
vehicle
tie and I zip tie you to the front.
gracefully.
So you're like,
I'll buy it.
Thank you.
Now I'm strapped to the front of the cart.
Yeah, I took Tom and I
Figurehead Tom.
strapped him to the top so he's like our Rolls Royce emblem at
Yes,
the front of
I am
the
gonna
cart.
beat that as well.
Go, Tiny Tom!
You do not get hurled out.
I strap
beat
a
that
flashlight
athletics
to your
by
head.
You you managed to use physical capability to hold yourself in the car, and it is
So
going
fast.
fast. You leave those tentacles and the entire cavern they're in behind.
Booyakasha!
Go, Tiny Tom!
Speeding up and
Thanks
speeding
for
up.
speeding up. Maybe slow it down a little. This is going really
Right as you start to
fast.
slow it down is when you go over the lip of a descent, and now you are fighting it
We are
Slow
now
it down.
descending.
and
That
picking
is
up
now-
speed.
You're welcome.
Starks fine. Go ahead and give me an athletics check or whatever you feel is relevant to try and hold that brake in place.
Yep, beat it by 10.
Holding it and sliding and vibrating along, and it flattens out and skids, and boom. It's a wall at just a couple miles an hour.
Golly, Tom, why'd you give us that stupid loot box, Tom? Yeah. You're welcome.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you, Tom.
Not really, Tom.
Beyond the stop,
Thank you, Dad.
beyond
Thank
the
you,
cart
Chad.
stop on the tracks is a very large, brightly lit room. There's balloons, of all shapes, colors, and sizes floating around the room, different levels filling the entire.
So they're not just all red, right?
No.
Okay, thank God.
Red,
I would have been
green,
more
and
nervous.
blue and pink, and like 47 different shades of blue. You know, it's not one blue. It's all of the blues.
Because
And
you-
yet
you're-
only 48 shades of gray.
we were in a sewer and now there's balloons and so now I'm looking for paper boats and getting nervous.
Well, you don't float, Lizzie.
No, I don't float, but I saw
Yes,
other
you are
people in other
not
books and
swimming.
movies. I know I don't. Thanks for the reminder.
Thank you. There are balloons everywhere filling the room. Like packed in, like a ball pit, but of balloons and a whole room.
I feel like there is a high likelihood that if we attempt to pop one of these balloons or inadvertently pop one of these balloons, something particularly nasty might happen.
Nasty? Or
Why?
the opposite?
Because everything that has happened so far has been nasty.
No arguments here.
I propose, once again, because I apparently have only one way to solve my problems, is that we use magic to bewitch the balloons to be nice and full of feathers.
I mean, or is it just like the game? If we beat the game, then we get off on the other side, you know? I got these darts.
You're very optimistic.
I'm just saying, it's a fun house. As long as we beat the game, we just beat the Donkey Kong level, okay?
I'm going to hide in the cart, and you are welcome to do whatever you would like with those balloons.
I would not hate it if you zipped this backpack closed.
unstrap Tiny Don from the cart, put him in the backpack.
I'm gonna go!
Tom didn't seem too keen on the whole popping balloons thing, so I'm with you on that. Let's
Thank you.
not do that.
Well, what else is there? So there's a room is full of balloons. Are there any doors?
You can't see anything because all the damn balloons.
So we
Okay.
bewitch them to be nice before we pop them.
And so when you're talking about all the balloons, we're talking like floor to ceiling?
Floor to ceiling, yeah. Some different amounts of gas in them, so there are differing elevations. Yeah, just enough room that they'd move around a little bit, but not much. I want you to all take a moment and savor this. I have 3 people scared of balloons right now. Balloons. Take notes, people who run games at home. Balloons.
You made a ball pit terrifying. Actually, you're right. They're just full of diseases.
It wasn't much of a stretch. Yeah.
This is just a bigger ball pit, guys.
There's ones that are floating, right? At the very, very top.
Yeah, there's some there all the way to the top, some just below them, some
So
just
we could
below
assume
them,
that the
some
ones
just
at the
below
very
them,
top
some just
are
below them.
full of helium.
Or some other gas that's lighter than air.
I mean, I already ate like
I would
3 tons
or-
of maggots. Like, I'm down to like try and eat what's inside these balloons. Suck up some helium. Make some space to get through.
I just, you
I
know,
find it strange that
Hindenburg.
that's what you
Hindenburg.
go to.
I'm
I am-
hungry and I've got an iron stomach. A little tummy ache and passes right by and then we're good. You know? Worked before.
Hindenburg.
I mean, this room is full of balloons. What do you?
Hindenburg.
So we're not gonna pop them.
Hindenburg.
Well, then what do you want to do? Turn around and go back to the
I
squid?
want to bewitch them so that they're nice before we pop them.
How are they mean?
They could be full of danger.
Yes, and we don't know that. Either way, you don't know. This whole thing.
You're right,
is
I know.
a
I'm just
game.
saying maybe if we disarm them before we potentially make us
Can you
all
turn them
explode.
into something else?
Feathers?
Maybe you could try.
That doesn't instill me with a lot of hope, but I'm willing to. I'm gonna try it.
Angela's never tried that broad of a scope thing. In fact, Angela's never had magic actually work when she's tried it outside of today.
Okay, here's a better question.
The wand has always just kind of been something she pointed at stuff and
The magic is in my heart.
believed something happened. But
The
in the
magic
real world,
is
nothing
in
ever
my
happened.
heart.
Can you
it
take-
was real to me.
Can you take the pieces of the mirror that you said that you got from the boy living in the
Oh,
funhouse?
you mean the pieces of mirror that are littered all through my body right now?
I mean, do you have any on you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, can you
In
like
me.
can you just show a mirror to the room to see if the balloons are even there or if this is like a mind trick or something? Like
Interesting. I have.
Still have a big full length mirror.
I do have a big full length
Just-
mirror, and I
just show
have
it-
my mirror
And you have your
as
mirror.
well.
just show it in the room real quick before you do spells, just to see if this is like
So
fake
are
or something.
we seeing if they are spirits or vampires?
All the kids?
vampire balloons.
What, I mean, what if they are all the spirits of the kids that you were talking about? They're in balloons. Balloons are fun
And the
things,
mirrors
like, and they're
will
all
show
trapped.
their true.
I don't know.
We can try it.
Okay.
Hold up the mirror from the cart, present it before the room, and it is a room of all black balloons.
Okay, see? So I won't eat them.
It's a step in the right direction.
Why they were blue and now they're black and now you won't eat them? What's their problem?
I don't like black licorice. Okay, that's the one flavor I don't like.
And black balloons taste like licorice.
Yes, that's what I'm assuming.
So what do blue balloons taste like?
Blueberries. Violet? Violet.
So
Okay.
you were ready to suck on some blue balls.
There you go.
Anyway,
Okay, so there's.
they look like black balloons.
Only in the reflection.
Only
I-
in the reflection.
When I touch them, do they feel like regular balloons?
Come up to the balloons.
Just poke it?
You reach
Not
out,
like.
and it's a balloon. And it moves a little when you poke it, like a balloon does.
Yeah.
Moves away from you.
Okay. So its true color is black. It still feels like a balloon.
You don't give me a little squeeze.
Can I like? Can I go like
Have
this?
you tried? Maybe you have to unblow up all of the balloons.
Can I take one of them and like see if it still holds static electricity? Like rub it on my head and see if my hair.
You rub the balloon on your
Put
head.
up punk rockers in your hair already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, but
It kind of
okay, I rub
breaks
it
up.
on.
It breaks up some of the gel and hairspray and Aquanet.
There you go.
Crunch, crunch.
Crunch, crunch,
Crunch, crunch.
crunch, 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 crunch. And now there's like a film of the hair product on the outside of the balloon.
It seems normal still.
It didn't pop. It's still a balloon.
Okay.
And it still is multicolored when you're looking at like this one is whatever color you grabbed, but it still looks black in the mirror.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like to bewitch them to be pink.
The real color of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to bewitch them to be pink. Andy wants them to be yellow, but I would like them to be pink.
Make a magic roll for me. Let me know how much you succeed by.
Or fail by.
I have
I have
confidence in
currently
it.
succeeded by 1. However, I am a princess.
Oh, you have to do it right. It's worded that.
I am a princess!
Much better.
Thank you.
And what does that do?
Yeah,
What
what
does our
does that
audience know what I am a princess does?
Oh, wait, no. Oh, I would have to re-roll a failed roll. That wasn't a failed roll.
Ah,
Oh,
see?
so I can't use it?
No, you gotta fail for I am a princess to work.
I have to fail for I am a princess?
Yeah, well, that way you end up not failing.
But I am a princess. I never failed.
That's the point
Oh,
of
I
it.
see.
That's how the ballot works, Ellie.
You just looked behind the curtain.
Well, I beat it by 1.
A couple of dozen of the balloons turn pink.
Real color pink, or are they still real
They're
color
pink in both the reflection and in the not reflection.
Let's pop those pink ones.
I'm down.
Dead babies everywhere.
I got a dart.
Seems a bit.
I got it.
You grab hold of it. It's loud, as popping a balloon is, and now you have a popped balloon in your hand.
What is that stuff? Rubber, plastic, what are balloons made?
Latex.
What is the balloon? Latex? What is it? Is it still pink? Did it turn
Rubber?
black? Is it?
It's still pink.
Does it smell? Is it
It
sewage?
smells like a balloon.
There's tentacles? Or
It smells like a balloon.
Okay.
I very
See?
quickly sniff the balloon.
They're sniffing balloons.
I like the smell.
I mean, I will hide behind something if you would like to pop one of the black ones.
Should we?
Let's give it a go. I mean, I'm not walking in there while all the balloons are still floating like this.
Andy hides behind the cart.
All right.
Should. Okay, here I go. Can I at least see which ones are black?
Yes, the mirror is still there. I am just hiding behind a cart.
Okay, this is the black one.
All right.
And I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna like 1, 2,
Pop. You just popped another balloon. It's black. It's black balloon.
All right, let's go in.
Bishop. This
Right?
is disconcerting.
What?
I gotta say, this ranks right up there with the gazebo. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up.
All right, so we wade full steam ahead into a room full of maybe murder balloons.
Well, I
You head
just
into the
popped.
balloons.
I want to say one hand on each other so we don't get lost in here. So
Okay.
we don't get separated.
Fair. Got it. I'll go first. I got some darts.
Well done, Mr. Maxwell.
Oh.
I'll bring up the rear.
Unless they hold hands, they lose each other in the balloons.
Oh.
As you're making your way through the room, every so often behind you, you hear a pop of a balloon popping. and some shuffling feet.
Oh no. Is it because the mirror shards are popping them?
Pop. Sounds a little closer this time.
You got your gun?
No, I do not carry. Oh, yeah.
I got my other fist that's free is full of darts right now.
Got darts. Surrounded by bullets.
I got my slingshot right in my breast
I've
pocket.
got my wand at the ready.
Maybe double time it.
Okay.
Hut, 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 hut,
Trying to go through.
This is not good.
Something grabs hold of your ankle and yanks you hard. You hit your knees and start to slide backwards. Who is the next person in the chain hanging on?
I think it was Andy.
It was me?
Give me an athletics check. If you don't have an athletics
have an
check, roll
athletics
against your
check.
body score.
6.
Had I a cap, I would doff it.
didn't mean to do something. You grabbed me. I'm so sorry.
Someone just grabbed the ankles of one of my performers in order to enhance the experience, apparently.
You are welcome.
Well, that wasn't helpful, Tom. That was amazing.
My stomach hurts.
Meanwhile, I'm getting dragged away.
So, body roll.
That was so worth it.
That was worth it. That was pretty
You
good.
roll against your body score, please.
Can I use a med?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
Would you like some more water?
Yes, I would. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Because she peed it all right
I
now.
am so sorry.
She just peed her
Yeah,
pants.
don't climb under that
Don't-
table
don't
again.
give her more
Don't
water.
climb under that table again. Don't.
It's booby trapped now.
It's
bitch.
booby trapped.
Okay.
That whole sewage tracks.
Okay. Ooh, no. No. Right. I am a princess.
Much better.
Thank you. Okay. Oh God.
But the dice don't agree, do they?
The dice do not agree, and that +4 bonus also did not. That
Oh, that's a
that was
plus
not.
4 bonus, so you did 4 better than you did.
Yes.
Okay.
I understand that.
That bad. Huh?
That bad.
Oof.
Well, my body is 6,
Yeah. Angel is
but my face
not.
is 10.
Angel's not the strongest individual, being a 12-year-old child.
Indeed.
You are the
You know,
whole
but
gang.
her body
And the
score is
second link in
actually
the chain
higher
goes.
than Andy's.
Wyatt?
I'm gonna try my best to yank him back as well. Go in full avatar. I'm going to use my battle cry as well.
What does battle cry do? Oh.
Helen, we're sorry. We love you. Please come back and play again next week. #LOOT.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you,
Hey,
chat.
chat.
Am I being bribed? Am I being bribed?
Yes. And yes, luckily she was wearing her brown pants.
Battle cry Once per game, Bobby lets out a battle cry on his action, stuns enemies, -4 to defensive checks, and grants allies a +2 bonus to skill check, and a +4 bonus on fear checks until the end.
Excellent.
Nuts to that! And that'll beat athletics by 3.
That is enough. You maintain your footing. They both go flat as though pulled by something across the ground. And it strains your arm. But before you go down, you're able to catch your footing and hold them. And the pulling is really intense for just a few seconds, and then it's gone. And you're just laying down with the balloons again.
Boosted.
Oh, we just hit boosted. So your waffle ability on your pilot sheet is available at this session now as well.
Oh, super strength?
Yeah,
Oh, I
over the
forgot
top
I'm
on the
fast.
apology, by the way, so you're welcome again.
The what?
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you,
Thank
Tom.
you, Tom.
They do exist. Okay, boosted exists. You're apologizing because you always apologize, even when it's not your fault, couldn't be your fault, and you didn't do anything wrong. And we love you anyway.
You should let them know you're all right.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just gonna die 10 years earlier. That's... I've got 5 more white hairs,
So sweet.
but at least I have hair.
Oh, that's true. It's very true. I traded my hair for someone who will love me.
Shit, I didn't even get that.
Oh,
This got dark.
so that's what I've been doing wrong all along.
You just had to get rid of your hair.
I should have gone bald.
You know?
Oh.
Pulling
Give it
them
2
back
more
to your
years.
feet. You are still in the balloons. Whatever it was is not pulling on your ankle anymore. It felt a lot like whatever was pulling on your ankle when you were in the ball pit, too.
Hi, is everyone there? Is everyone okay?
I'm traumatized, but otherwise unhurt.
Great. Let's get out of here.
You move through the balloons, and there's no more of the popping, the shuffling as you make your way through balloons. At the end of the room is a long hallway without balloons in it. It looks kind of like, I don't know, a hallway you'd see underneath like a stadium or something, like a service tunnel. Even has like the caged up light bulbs in it, lit up and everything. But you are out of the balloons, and they are not popping. And now that you've cleared the field of them, you can see that they're all slowly, about to the point where you got grabbed, turned black.
Even the nice little pink ones?
Even the nice little pink
Oh no.
Do the ones that haven't turned black still look that way in the mirror?
Yes, they still look black in the mirror.
Do I still have my mirror?
You didn't drop it, as far as I know of. You've been dragging it along this whole time.
Which I would like to say speaks to my presence of mind when I'm being grabbed out of the balloons. I did not drop my mirror.
It speaks to your vanity.
Whatever works. So what should we do, kids?
I'd say let's keep getting away from the creepy balloons and whatever the hell that thing is.
Unless it's driving us towards something. Like chess.
True.
I'm just gonna turn around and pop a bunch of balloons just out of spite because I'm just pissed now because I've been grabbed too many times. Just
You pop 1, 2,
Oh, no.
3,
No.
4. The 5th one sprays your face with blood when it bursts.
Oh, you know, because now that's twice that's happened. I get my little.
Gum?
Thanks.
I told you not to pop it. I would like to think I'm the sort of person that doesn't tell people I told you so, but I say things intentionally so that I can say I told you so later.
Great. How are your pants?
Warm.
That's what I thought.
But still intact, which is new.
And still
At
on.
least you got
And
him.
still on.
At least you got him.
The pants are still on.
Slow but incremental improvement.
It's baby steps. Forward.
You follow the service tunnel for about 100 feet or so, and it leads to a set of steel stairs that go up to the surface. Surface opening is kind of behind like a backstage area. They didn't want the people who were in the park to see it. But you can kind of see around the stage. It must be in some different section of the park. It's a wide walkway, and each side of the walkway has different stages on it, going down for another 100 yards. Bearded ladies, two-headed men, dog boys, clowns, jugglers, mimes. Like every stage is occupied with every possible thing that could be a circus or carnival performer on them. Each, their faces are stretched into these distorted, like borderline painful smiles. The skin is so tight. Their eyes don't blink, and they're filled with this distant, vacant look.
Can we hear him breathing?
You'd have to get close.
You're
You're still a ways
gonna
away
say
from
this
the
now.
closest
Don't
ones.
do
You're
it.
kind of just peeking out behind a backstage, seeing all this.
Oh, okay.
My nanny took me to one of these shows once.
The real
It was
thing.
entertaining. I mean, those poor people, but nonetheless.
I'm not convinced that this is going to be entertaining. I don't think I want to see the show.
Let me entertain you. Let me
Later, when we're not the creepy. So we can get up and get out of here?
Gonna have to walk down this long pathway flanked by stages, or go back to where you came.
Balloons or circus freaks? Balloons or circus freaks? Balloons full of blood and people grabbing you without your knowledge are circus freaks. Who could also grab you without your knowledge and are likely full of blood.
You know what? If they weren't, I'd be more worried.
Yeah, I'd suggest them
I
full of
take
blood
blood
is the
than
best
maggots.
outcome.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I take just a moment? I assume at this point that I'm close to bleeding out and I would like to practice medicine.
Okay, you can practice
Excellent.
medicine.
Does that get me any of my hit points back?
If you have time to take some significant rest period, yeah.
I assume that we do not. But I will at least practice medicine so that I
can't.
do not bleed.
You are not bleeding out, and it will make a difference. It does.
Excellent.
Treated wounds will heal faster than untreated wounds.
Does that also mean that I've picked
before?
the mirror
Yes.
pieces out?
Yeah, I'm assuming you would have taken time to
Okay.
pick the mirror pieces out when you had the chance.
Right. Did I keep them in my pocket so that I can
Did you?
reference them later? I think I did. I think that was my intent when I said I'd collect some of the pieces and then you made them shatter in my face.
Sorry, scripted. Whoever wrote this is sadistic.
Really? I had no idea.
Is he still in there?
In the mirror, yes. Would you like to have a conversation with him? I could probably
No,
piece enough
no,
pieces together.
no.
You could...
No,
No?
thank you very much.
Oh.
No.
Antisocial, that's fine.
Yeah. Not so much antisocial, just don't want to talk with the dead, scared kid.
What if he could tell us something about these guys? What if these people are like trapped and we're like, we need to get them out?
You're welcome to ask.
Like I can kill balloons and stuff, but like maybe these are people and they look like those smiles are like forced, like they're forced to perform. They're stuck here. Like what if we need to get them out? I mean, the kid would know, right? He lives here. He was stuck here. Maybe?
Also, his eyes were gouged out.
But he would still know. I don't want to.
Maybe.
Should we?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing. You just put the mirrors again and then you separate them again.
So I sit down on the floor and play possibly the weirdest puzzle that I have ever seen. And I put together the little mirror boy in as much as I can from the shards that I've collected from my own body and kept in my cute little pocket.
You painstakingly spend more than 30 minutes assembling the
This is
pieces,
important, do not rush me.
putting them all in their right places. Do you have somewhat of a misshapen shape? Part of him? He's kind of just whimpering, moving a little.
Hello, little
Sitting
dead
like
boy. Can you hear me? Hello, little dead boy.
Go away.
Well, that's not likely. Little dead boy?
Go away.
Why don't you ask him his name first instead of calling him a dead boy?
That's what he is.
Do you have a name?
Just say go away! And his hands come out of the mirror.
Jesus Christ. Not again.
Oh yes, we can. And for 2 more episodes too left. Hands. Gnarled, long clawed with yellow nails come out from beside the boy's face and grab onto Angel and pull her straight towards the mirror. What do you do?
Kiss him. That's sure to scare the little dead boy away. I'm gonna waffle ability and use my super strength to disentangle myself from that little bastard.
Fair
But
enough.
first, I'm gonna use a meta point so that's actually possible. Thank you.
Order of operations achieved. Exactly the opposite effect as last time.
Exactly the opposite effect. Perfectly well done. You are able to push the mirror away from you and it separates into the pieces, and as it does so, the hands just kind of back inside of it. Now the pieces are scattered all about. One of the nearest performers stops for a second,
Which one?
kind of turns, and then immediately starts doing their juggling routine again. Their giant fake plastic smile still ear to ear.
I didn't know the Joker had passed through here.
Okay, so let's not pick that back up.
No, I'm taking him with me. I won't put him back together. Half of his shards go in this pocket, half of his shards go in that pocket. We may find a way to still save him. Or torment him forever because Jesus Christ, I'm done with that shit.
I'm not so much for the torment, but just keep them apart.
That is torment. Have you ever felt like you weren't whole?
No.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen on it. Look, I don't want to go past these things, but I don't see any other options.
Yep.
I collect my friends, one in each arm, and put on a turn of speed to run past the scary clowns.
You begin to run past the scary clowns using your speed.
Yes. My balance, my cat-like Zen direction speed, running 50 miles per
The
hour.
ground as you're running gets
No.
softer
No.
and
No.
softer, and you're moving so fast that by the time you're able to slow down, you're all knee deep and it's like wet cement.
Great.
And the sky is darkening very, very rapidly.
Not just very rapidly.
Shit. As darkness falls upon the stages that you ran past initially, the performers turn towards you. Wicked knives and cleavers replace the instruments of
They did have
entertainment
cleavers.
in their hands. Pokers, shears,
have to get you
blades,
on the things.
and they begin advancing menacingly towards you.
AK,
Let's have
we
another
don't
combat.
have the rule of cool. I could not possibly have Jesus run it. I only go 50 miles per hour on my Zen light. breakneck speed.
Give me initiative. If you aren't all the way over, remember not to roll 8s. I mean,
Yeah, they're wrong.
you roll your 10s if you're a space away.
Oh, fuck me. 16.
16 for Angel.
17.
17 for Bobby. Lizzie?
18.
Okay, we are 15, 16, 17, 18. Isn't that interesting? Lizzie,
Magic.
Yeah.
you're the first to go. It's kind of knee deep. It feels like wet cement you're in. The people on those stages, they're armed and not looking very pleasant. Those giant smiles still haven't changed. The vacant looks in their eyes. It's more than just a vacant look. It's like
Demon fires.
Like to look at that, the one boy you were in a foster home with that just totally lost his mind and they kept him in a chair all the time and he just sat there. So it's that look. They have the exact same look as that crazy little boy.
Yeah. Okay, so can I move or is
You're
it...
kind of mired. You can move in it, but it's like moving through like wet cement. It's
Okay.
slow going.
So, I mean, I called it from the beginning. We either had to let them out or put them out of their misery. So, let's do it to it because we're not going to be able to let them out. So, which one is closest?
You could easily get to one of the performers if you want to.
Which one? Who are
Juggler,
they?
sure. It's a clown. It's a clown.
It's a clown. What is it? What do they have on them?
He has a set of kitchen shears that they're rusty looking and he's kind of using them like
Just
he wants
walking
to
with
stab you with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So he's pretty close then?
Hello. Are they hooked up to anything? Are the smiles masks? Like, I just want to know that possibly we're not going to kill a bunch of innocent people that are being, like, puppeted.
You don't see anything connected to them physically. And they do not blink.
Oh, okay. So they're probably not real. Go on.
Okay. So I'm gonna take
away.
one of my darts and I'm gonna take it in my slingshot. I'm gonna pull it back and then I'm gonna fire it right into his mouth to kind of like make him. I want to hit that thing, the hanging ball thingy.
Uvula?
Sure. I'm gonna take it and fire a dart right in there, and then while he's gagging, hopefully that's gonna buy me some time to grab his shears from him, and I'm gonna pickpocket every single one of these freaking weapons off all these puppets, because I'm really good at that. But one at a time. So rusty shears.
And then I'm going to give the rest of them tetanus.
Give me a shooting roll for that slingshot shot.
Okay.
I like this. His name is Phil. He enjoys long walks on blood-soaked stairs and haircuts. Pet peeves are little children who don't run.
There we go.
That is absolutely wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
That is awesome.
Beat it by 8.
Beat it by 8. He does a perfect shot. It goes right into the open smile. There's no real gag, but the dart just keeps going and goes kind of out the back flesh. So the point is sticking out the back of his neck.
Okay. That's what I
blood
call
is
a
coming out the
holy
back,
one.
and it takes a step and then is coughing and choking on his own blood, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, at least they have blood.
Yeah, like see there it's I'd rather take that. I'd
I
rather
love
take
that
that.
you think that's a good thing.
If they didn't have blood.
And yes, you're right. Most people have no idea what wet cement is like. Moving through wet cement is like
like
moving
moving
through sand and mud mixed together. It is the weight of sand on you, but you can move through it by mud. Yeah, it does get a lot warmer. But that's the basic premise. It's really heavy and wet.
Okay. And I want to grab those shears while I'm at
He
it.
dropped him at his feet when the choking blood coming out of its mouth sort of thing.
Okay, so I got his shears.
You now have his shears. Bobby, you are at 17. You are next.
I'm gonna try and take a couple shots at the next two nearest ones.
All right.
And try and dig myself out as best I can out of this.
All right, you're backing away, slogging through the stuff. Give me the shooting rolls first.
Bang bang. Beat it by 8. Beat it by 8.
It's a mime, and he has this brutal
Oh,
looking cane.
mime!
Your first shot tears the hand of him clean off, and its arterial blood is like literally spurting from the wrist.
Good.
He kind of looks at it as he's looking at it and turns. The second shot goes where his hand would have been, and there's not much of a fit. It's like jelly and bone matter mixed together from the impact.
Yeah, try to find your way through the box with no hands, you mime.
Everyone
Does
hates
seem
mimes.
especially cruel.
To him.
Everyone hates mimes. Angel?
I have a blanket, which, as everyone knows in children's magic, if you put it over your head, you cannot see the monster.
Nope.
If you cannot see the monster cannot see you. Ergo, I will put the blanket over my head, and the monsters will not be able to see me.
Angel puts the blanket over her head.
Force field. I got it. Smart move.
Oh, that is lovely, Angel.
Child magic.
The horde of performers passes closer and closer. A few come within reach and lash out with pokers and other implements of pain and death. Their swings are very crude and clumsy, almost marionette-like. And only one of them gets a success against you, Lizzie.
Which one? I want to know exactly who hurt me.
He is going to be the bearded lady.
Oh, yeah. Bring it. The bearded lady, how much did?
10 damage from the bearded lady from a rusty kitchen knife.
Taking that knife, too. 10 damage.
You swear like a very distorted "I'm sorry" was whispered from somewhere on her throat after she stabbed you.
Yeah, between that and the marionette descriptor.
Top of the order, Lizzie.
Where's the bearded lady?
Trying to kill you. Just stabbed you with the kitchen knife. Kind of standing over you because you're sort of in the wet cement stuff still.
Where did she stab me?
Your right arm.
Okay. Good thing I'm ambidextrous, so I'm gonna take my left arm, take those rusty scissors that the clown had, and I'm gonna basically like scrape the knife off of her hand, and then I'm also gonna cut her beard off so she loses her career.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Insult to injury. All right, give me a couple of fighting rolls for that.
Okay.
She hasn't collected a bearded lady paycheck in a while.
But if it gets her out, it gets her out. If she doesn't have
How
a career,
about a career
so-
change?
How about a career check? Where? Can I use my defense roll? Oh, God.
Far less dangerous.
What was it? I'm sorry. Roll off. What was I rolling?
Fighting, please.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, I beat it by 5.
Beat it by 5. Your first strike takes the knife clean out of the
Okay.
bearded lady's hand,
Drop
flinging
the
it
cement.
across. Give me another one for the beard.
Okay. I'm gonna shave her.
Forced
then-
high-speed trim, which I can tell you, that hurts.
High speed trim.
Not fun.
And then while I do it, I'm gonna whisper at her, "I'm not sorry."
Oh, she hasn't been this smooth since her quinceañera.
That could count as a fighting check, right?
Yes.
Okay, I beat
That
it
is a fighting
by
check.
because I don't have a shaving check.
That is a fighting check.
Okay, good. I beat it by 4.
Beat it by 4. Not so much the bearded lady, more of the stubbled lady at this point.
And then I look her right in the eyes.
She looks like Roseanne now.
I wasn't gonna say it.
You got the can. You're done. You're done here.
Bobby, she just took the beard off a bearded lady and disarmed her.
Oh my God! It's Helen.
It looked like the
Right?
beard removal was intentional.
We recognize a person instantly. No. No. Okay.
What I love about that is that I have so many beards at home.
So true.
I was gonna say you play man all the
I
time.
play a man all the time. I have so much facial hair at home.
That's where I keep most of mine too.
That was all my different ones.
In my sock drawer? Weird.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get that back to you.
I'm gonna yell out, let's get out of here if we can. I don't know what these things are, but I don't like this at all. Let's just try and go. And
You might need to shoot your way out.
yeah, I'm
There
gonna
are
try.
definitely fewer between you and the courtyard and where you came from.
Yeah, the folks that are in front of us.
Mostly because someone was really fast and got you about 2/3 of the way down the entirety of all the stages before
You
the
are
wet
welcome.
cement.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take a couple of shots at the ones that are blocking us, and again continue to try and.
Let Tom out, please.
Oh!
Wyatt Maxwell knows something that you don't, Bobby. Well, you're
Oh
from
God,
the
we need
50s.
a meta point.
You're from the 50s, you see. You just have to say a different word. Instead of saying bang bang, say butta 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 butta. Trust me, it'll work.
Zip.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Tom.
Butter, 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 butter,
It
butter.
starts vibrating in your hands rapidly and bullets fly out of the
Butter,
air.
butter, 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 butter. You made a very happy 12-year-old, Tom. You're a mensch.
You are welcome.
How many do you need?
I want you to make 6 rolls.
Okay. Beat by 10.
I'm fairly certain she
Area
does
attack.
existed.
Beat by 5. Medic. Beat it by 10. Beat it by 9.
And one more.
Beat it by 1.
In a hail of gunfire, clowns, circus freaks, dog boys are ripped to pieces. Blood and gore fill the pathway between you and the courtyard. There are still many of them moving towards you. Angel,
Well, we're still mired, and I'm not quite sure.
some
what
of them that he shot are still like crawling around, obviously.
Do you even
horrifically.
see any of this being under the blanket?
No,
She's been
she
under the
sees
blanket.
nothing.
She just hears
Fair,
butter butters.
fair. Then I'm going to go with what I just decided I was going to do. I'm going to bring out the full-length mirror so that I can show the freaks what they have become, and hopefully they try to fight it.
Beautifully done.
So you
pull
want
out.
to think about their choices?
Yeah.
Think about your life choices real hard.
Very
And
modern
maybe
approach.
That's pretty modern, yeah.
find
I'm impressed.
that kernel of good that's still inside of them, so they can fight the evil that's
Right.
taken a hold.
That's Angel,
Just
and
make sure
next
they
to
can all
my
see
bad
themselves
guys.
break.
I'm just
More of the performers swarm in. Though they seem to be focusing on just you two. Several of them walk right past.
Right past us?
Not right past Angel. Like
Do they see themselves? What
they
do
go
look
right
like?
towards these, but they are the ones that are going. They don't seem to be looking in the mirror or looking at her. We'll get to that mirror part in a second.
Oh no.
With their crude instruments, they come down upon you. I have 2 successes on you, Wyatt. And I have no successes on you, Lizzie.
Yeah, they all saw a lesson when I chopped her beard off. You know,
Something
too
about
scared.
de-bearding
They're
the bearded
like,
lady.
Oh God.
I get you.
Each one of these is successfully
Like,
hits you. And
if
you
we
do not defend
piss her off but
successfully.
don't injure her, we get a free trim.
We need it.
Success.
They're really erratic and they don't particularly hit or swing that hard. And regarding that mirror, the reflections in them, you can see like tiny little cords of like
Oh, no.
silver on their
Oh,
wrists
great.
and their ankles and like the back of their necks being pulled along as they're moving.
Oh no.
Yeah, you just killed a whole bunch of normal people.
Okay. Okay.
I killed none.
Well, I gave one a haircut. And I killed it. I darted one in the mouth.
2 bits.
Lizzie, start us off.
I feel like we should probably look to the ceiling.
Well, I mean, unless can I call over to have her tilt the mirror up to see if there's anything on the ceiling?
She won't be able to tilt it up till her turn. Or
Okay.
you could grab it and do it, but then it would be difficult for you to see or do anything but hold the mirror. It's a full-length mirror.
Right, got it. Okay, who's close to me? Who's approaching?
You have 5 of these performers around you trying to stab at you with different implements of death.
Okay.
They're pretty much on any side you look to. And if they weren't so erratic and weird, distorted in their movements, they would have stabbed you to death already. There would just be no way to defend yourself against 5 real, but they're moving like marionettes, so it's not so difficult to avoid the strikes of 5 of them.
Right. Is Bobby close to me?
Bobby's pretty close to you. Bobby's basically on the other side of Angel.
Okay. Here's what I propose. Does he see the strings too? Does he see the strings off the people?
Has Bobby looked yet? Bobby has not looked in the mirror
It's
yet.
the first thing
He
you
was-
haven't perceived.
He was too busy admiring his brand new fun toy.
Buttergun. Butter.
Butter is the coolest thing ever.
It's like butter.
Buttergun.
I can't
Okay.
believe
A 12-year-old boy just got a machine gun for the first time. There's
No.
virtually nothing in the world that is going to be cooler to him right now.
Well,
Yeah.
more to him ever.
We heard to him ever, but like in that moment, good luck.
This is what I'm gonna propose. In my bag, I've got some spray paint and I've got my lighter, right? Can I call over to say, hey, trust me on this one? Jump on Bobby's shoulders, aim the spray paint up, and then put the fire and try and like torch these strings, kind of melt them?
You could give it a shot. You don't know what will happen, but you can try anything.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
All right, give me an athletics check
Trust me
to
on
jump
this
up
one.
onto Bobby.
Okay. I'm gonna jump on the
Bobby,
Bobby.
if you do not
on
wish to
shoulders.
let her, you may make a defensive roll. It's up to you.
Nah, I'm gonna let her.
Okay. I beat it by 5, 6.
All right, you clamber up onto Bobby, smearing wet cement all up his back and sides.
And then I have my spray bottle and I have my lighter and I and just
Spray paint and a Zippo lighter. Classic 1980s right there.
Yep, to try and torch these strings that I see. So I'm shooting above the performers to try and melt the strings.
Give me a shooting test.
Okay. Okay, beat it by 4, 5. Yes.
You ignite and you see flames as though they're burning something, but whatever is burning, it's not there. And they burn upwards for just a second, little bands of them. And then you hear the loud snapping sound, like that twang. Very, very sharp noise. And like sacks of meat, they just flop to the ground. Some of them on top of each other, some of them impaled on their own weapons.
Ooh, did not mean to do that part. I tried to save these guys.
Oh dear. And Angel says, that was like magic. You have magic too. You should teach me how to do that.
Bobby,
Best friends are magic. Okay.
Lizzie's on your
Right,
shoulders.
because now we're getting My Little Pony.
She just somehow made them all fall down above them.
You're gonna have to explain that to me later, but for right now, let's get out of this GD place.
Grandiosely disgusting.
No, the other one. I'm gonna try and
Gargantuanly disappointing.
Yes.
That's why I said GD!
Rude.
I'm gonna try and help Angel up out of the wet cement nonsense and try and get us trucking out of here.
You're up and moving fairly quickly. There are very few of those performers left. And the ones that are left have to cross through the cement that you just left. And they don't have the manual dexterity to make that task very possible.
Except they're hanging on wires, so do they even sink into it?
Oh yeah, they do.
Poor guys.
And the majority of them get about halfway across before whatever is manipulating the strings bores of the game, and then they just sink into the
No.
wet cement.
In the arms of the angels.
And it grows very, very dark and cold. And that's all we have tonight for Project Metaverse. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you all next week. We love you, and good night.
Help!
Thank you.
Help us!